Hello, hello, and welcome. I am Varden Heste, and we are back with Katawa Shoujo. Hopefully looks like my OBS is doing well today, so we don't have to worry about having to stop early like last time. Because that was definitely upsetting. I really wanted to continue more of the story. Hello, hello. It's good to see you all. Hello, Zora. Hello, Leather. Hello, Sunshine. Good to see you. Oh, and Goddess. Oh my goodness. Everybody's here. Hello, Kaiju. Hello. Oh man, the past 3 days have been quite stressful. Oh my goodness. My family was around. And my goodness, they are very... Oh, it's Alia. I see. I did forget about that. Let's see, my family is very inconsiderate of what I do. Oh, what is this game? It is a VN for Katawa Shoujo. Katawa Shoujo. It was free on Steam, and I think this was a game that like 4chan made a long time ago. It turned out to be very good, so I want to play. You forgot about me? I'm sorry. No, I forgot that you changed your name. That's what I forgot, Alia. But anyway, let's continue, and hopefully no interruptions from my OBS. I think it should be fine though. Let's see. No, I'm on my phone. Oh, I see. Eyes a see. So what's the plan for today anyway? I'm waiting patiently in the hallway of the girls' dormitory, just outside of Emmy and Rin's rooms. I'm missing my husband, VTuber 1. Oh my goodness. Very nice. Emmy is apparently helping Rin with getting dressed. I suppose that makes perfect sense, as I have no idea how Rin would get dressed otherwise. Picnic? Picnic. That's what I said. I'm eating fries and potatoes. Nice. Sounds pretty exciting. I know, right? Rin chooses the moment to make an observation. The sky seems threatening today. Actually, I noticed that too. On my way over, despite the sunshine of the early morning, the afternoon seems to have taken a turn for the gloomy. He's asleep. Oh, I see. I'm eating sushi. Oh, nice. Sushi is quite nice. There's a heaviness to the air, as well as that usually heralds a rainstorm. I wonder if I should have brought my umbrella. She's got a point. Emmy, you sure that you still want to risk getting caught in the rain? I don't even know why I bothered asking. Emmy pops out of Rin's room to the hallway looking shocked that I even suggest canceling our plans. Of course. What, the threat of rain's supposed to stop me? I can't help but grin at her belligerent response. It's almost like she's daring the rain to come. I'm actually wanting to see this through at this point. The story is pretty in-depth. And it seems like there's a lot of different paths as well. I accidentally went down this path, although I don't mind. I think Emmy is pretty nice. I like Emmy. See, if Mother Nature were walking down the street, I think Emmy would probably start a fight with her. Ew, I don't like this girl. Really? I kind of like her, because the reason I like her is because she cares about you. She's the only one who gave a crap about your health, you know, when you were basically dying. So that's kind of why I kind of like her. Or at least challenge her to a race. The one I was going for, though, was the, what was her name? Sure, I can't remember her name. It was the burned girl. That's the one I really wanted to go for. But sadly, I decided to race and have a heart attack. In fact, Emmy seems almost aggressively cheerful today. Rin wanders out to the hallway, looking her usual self. Well then, are we all ready to go? It's not luck, it's my dad's richness. I see. I'm ready. Rin nods and says a single word. Basket. Beg pardon? Why does Rin look like a man? Well, she is kind of boyish. You know, she can't really do her hair, you know. Doesn't have arms. basket in Emmy's room. You should carry it. Emmy claps a hand to her mouth, embarrassed. And see, oh my gosh, I almost forgot all about it. Nice save, Rin. Emmy darts into her room and emerges with what looks like a very well-stocked picnic basket. As she hands it over to me, I note that it feels heavy enough to be 1, 2. Good lord, how much food did they pack? More to the point, where did she get the money for all of this? So are we set to head out? Yep. Rin gives another nod, and we head out of the dormitory. I can't help but frown when I notice how gray the sky has gotten in the 10 minutes I was inside. Still, Emmy does not seem concerned by such petty concerns as the color of the sky. She's positively skipping as we walk. And see, why does Rin look like she doesn't have arms? Because she does not have arms. Like, I think all the romanceable characters have something wrong with them. But, well, this whole school has something wrong with them. Like, either they're missing a limb, they have some disease, they don't have, or some, like, disability. Pretty much all of them have something. Which reminds me, where are we going? This brings Emmy up short, and she shoots me an embarrassed look. You know, I hadn't really thought of that. What do you think, Isao? Well, there's the spot where we ate during the festival, but it might be nice to leave the campus for a while. However, I'm not sure if there's any good places to do that in town. Just as I'm about to open my mouth, Rin unexpectedly interjects with a suggestion. There's a park in town near the arts shop. Great idea, Rin. I totally forgot all about that place. Crisis averted. Do you know how to get there, Rin? Rin shrugs. It's pretty likely. Good enough for me. I would prefer knowing for sure, but what the hell? Lead on, Rin. The three of us quickly make our way off campus and take the road down into town. This basket's a bit heavy. I hope that the park is close by. We pass the art supply store, Rin slowing her pace slightly as we go by. Hey Varden, did you play Doki Doki before? I have played Doki Doki. I actually have 2 playthroughs with that game on stream. I have 2 playthroughs. One was my first blind playthrough, and the second one was to get the best possible ending. Emmy notices Rin's change of pace and stops. You want to go in, Rin? Rin shrugs. Nothing I need. Are you sure? There's the slightest flutter of a smile on Rin's face, quickly replaced with her usual expression. Life's uncertain, but on this, at least, I am pretty sure. Nice of you to offer. I still need to work on you in the DDLC style, but I can't get the hair right. It's all right, leather. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know? I mean, from what I saw, it did look nice. Oh my gosh, both her arms are missing. Yes. Yeah, she's missing her arms and she's missing her legs. Well, it's not like I'm the one carrying the basket. But I'll bet Hisao wouldn't have minded anyway, right? Oh, of course not. This is hardly a heavy load. I flex for emphasis. Emmy stifles a snort of laughter by pointing to the park in which we're suddenly arrived. Oh, I remember this place. I ran into you here that one time, didn't I, Rin? Rin's eyebrows raises slightly. Maybe. Do you mind if I ask you for other references for your hair so it looks better? I can send you some stuff. There is actually, you know what? There is something I can send you. It's not necessarily me, but it's it's one of the references I use for what I want, like, my character to kind of look like. So I'll send you that later. Wait, how is she walking then? Does she have other legs? Oh, she has prosthetics. Like, she has prosthetic legs. I'm unwilling to say for certain, one way or the other. I mean, I think this game was made in the, like, mid-2000s? Oh, no, not mid-2000s, like late 2008? 2010s? Like around that era? I can't remember. So, arm prosthetics were not as advanced yet. Like, leg prosthetics could work, but she has the older leg prosthetics. But legs are easier to do than arms. Especially since her legs, her amputations are below the knee. So it's a lot easier. Wake me up if I fall asleep again. Thank you for DDLC for dragging me to those streams. Those are fun streams. Those are really fun. I'm unwilling to say, I mean, that's the reason why I even do these VNs now, because I really enjoy VNs. I'm unwilling to say for certain, one way or the other. Memory's a tricky thing, you know? Well, we made it in one piece after all. The sun's still nowhere to be seen, but neither Emmy nor Rin seems to mind. I'd rather have her have robot arms. We find a spot to sit on the grass, and I set the basket down gracefully. Well, I think the, this was made during a time when arm prosthetics were not good enough. It was being very realistic with that. It's funny, the art for her looks a lot better here. There's a surprising amount of food prepared. Maybe we were supposed to be joined by some of Emmy's teammates or something. I'm starving. Dig in. That you? He doesn't have white hair. Oh yeah, this is the character I'm representing. Just imagine this is just, you know, it's a younger me, you know? My white hair hasn't come in yet. She attacks the food as if she's had nothing to eat for years. I'm just reaching for the food myself when I feel the first drop of rain land on the back of my hand. Uh-oh. Looks like the weather's not going to cooperate with us after all. Emmy glares at the sky as if that alone will hold back the rain. I very nearly believe she can do it. It's one heck of a glare. I had better cooperate. I have held Voldemort at gunpoint to play DDLC. You hear me, Sky? You stop the raining right this instant. Yes, Sky. Sky doesn't seem to incline to listen to her, despite the commanding tone she's taken with it. Instead, the rain seems to increase. Rin wrinkles her nose in distaste at this turn of events. Regrettable. What do you mean? Rin shrugs. I could paint this if I weren't out here. Shame to miss it all. Is all. Sky, stop raining. Yes, Sky. She doesn't seem angry or annoyed about it, just a little disappointed. Emmy laughs in response to Rin's comment. Guess we should have stopped in that art supply store after all, huh? The rain increases a little more, offended that we haven't fled yet. Despite the warm temperatures we've been enjoying, the rain is rather cold. I wish I'd brought my umbrella. Hey, we should probably head inside to keep dry. Oh my gosh, it's raining and they're wearing white shirts. We're already pretty wet, he said. But we can dry off this way and maybe wait out the storm. You don't want to catch a cold or anything, do you? Is that a bad thing? I don't think so. Oh yeah, the catch the cold thing. This is such an anime trope, the catch the cold. I don't think I've ever caught a cold for sitting in the rain too long. Emmy considers this for a moment. I can tell that part of her wants to stay out in the rain, just despite the weather. I almost remembered the offensive joke for Rin, but I won't write it. Unfortunately for her, the weather hardly cares about what we do. I suppose you're right. Where could we go? I don't have an answer for her. The area's still pretty new to me. Though I guess I'm slowly getting used to the school itself, the surrounding town remains a mystery. All I know is the art supply store, and that's only because we've just passed it. Fortunately, Emmy soon snaps her fingers in triumph. That's it. There's a tea shop nearby. We could have some tea and dry out. No problem. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Oh, that's how it's bad. Great, you know where it is. Emmy nods, looking fairly confident. Sure do. I think. But it'll be an adventure either way, right? Adventure, huh? Well, I suppose we could use a little adventure. I think as long as we get out of the rain, I'll be happy. The picnic basket is a little lighter now, at least. Block it with a tie. Lead on. Rin and I follow Emmy as she weaves through the streets with something approaching confidence. Now a left here. There, the Shanghai. Emmy beams triumphantly as she points to the tea shop. It seems fairly crowded inside, a symptom of the sudden rain, I'm sure. Welcome, can I? Oh, it's the librarian. I'm surprised to find out that our waitress is none other than Yuko. She sure looks the part in her uniform. It's hard to believe that she's the same librarian from our school. Does she work 2 jobs? I guess that must be it. Oh, it's you. Yuko seems to know Emmy. Emmy grins brightly, pleased to be remembered. Hey, Yuko. Hi, Yuko. I didn't know you worked here, too. I don't like her. I'm sorry. Which one do you not? Do you not like her? Or her? Let's see. Or, see, Emmy? Do you not like Emmy? Or do you not like Yuko? Shanghai, man. I wish I had the chance to get to Shanghai in my town before it closed. Both? You don't like? Oh my goodness, how could you not like them? Well, Yuko I don't really know that well, to be honest. See, do I know you? You seem awfully familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen you in here. We met at your other job, at the Yamaku Library, remember? Her eyes widen in memory. Yeah, that's it. Nice to see you again. Oh no, this is bad. I should have remembered a customer's face. I'm sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Yuko goes from realization to panic in a split second, performing a series of high-speed bows. I narrowly avoid getting headbutted in the process. Well, hey, calm down. Listen, I wasn't a customer when we first met. In fact, I hadn't ever been to the Shanghai, so it's all right. Not the best display of logic, but it seems to relax her a little. Do you really think so? Yeah, I'm sure. Positive. Isn't that right, girls? Emmy has been watching this little drama unfold with considerable amusement. Yep, it sure is. Well, okay. So Yuko, got room to seat us? Yuko nods and leads us to the corner booth, providing us with small towels before taking our order. What will you have? How are they still dry? It's the power of the uniform. It's probably that uniform that has that that water-resistant thing on it, you know? That's why they're not wet. I've actually seen those where they have their water-resistant shirts. They're pretty nice. I don't know if they last. I think you can't wash them, or else they lose it. At least not in a dryer anyway. See, cake and some tea too, I guess. I like Emmy. I just don't want to run because my asthma will hate her. What kind of cake? Surprise me. Yuko looks uncomfortable at the thought of surprising anyone, but she gives a nod and turns to Rin. And also, I'm kinda Lizzie to finish the animation. Oh yes, the animation. I did give you permission to one of my my chat channels. My voice channels. But I won't give up. Do not give up. And for you. I don't know what other girls are there. So far, I don't like Rin and Emmy. Oh, how can you not like them? They're not even that bad. Honestly, there's two other girls I don't really like that much. Let's see, I'll take a straw. My feet are all wet. Sorry. The drinking kind of straw one, please. Yuko is obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationary for a moment, looking like she's about to cry before turning in my direction. And you, sir? Just tea, I think. Emmy would probably yell at me if I ordered cake. Let's see. Do. Oh no, I was trying to do that. Oh no. Yeah, this game is, if you tab out, it goes away. Okay, this back, thank goodness. But you could fix the Varden. I can fix them. Although the one I really wanted to fix was the burned girl. That's the one I really wanted to romance. But this is fine too. Honestly, this girl is more about fixing me than fixing her. I'm a picky person. Oh, come on, Hisao. Don't let me be the only one with food. I'll feel like a pig. Just trying to eat healthy. Your orders, after all. Well, today is your off day. You can't be healthy tomorrow. Well then, I suppose I will have some cake after all. Yuko seems slightly irritated that I'm changing my mind. What kind? I glance at Emmy and grin. Surprise me. Yuko sighs and nods. Very well, your order will be out soon. Despite the crowd, our order does indeed arrive quickly. Thanks, Yuko. Yuko nods in appreciation. This is a different guy than usual, isn't it? What? Different guy? Emmy must notice my confusion, because she seems a little embarrassed. Well, what? What, you take guys here all the time? What? I mean, we're just friends, so it's not that big of a deal. What? Oh yeah, I guess he is... This is my friend, Hisao. We've met. Small world. Well, let me know if you need anything. Uh-oh. With that, Yuko takes off like a shot to wait on some other tables, leaving me to ponder her comment. Oh no. Oh no, I thought this romance was going too well. No. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I like girls with something pink on them. Different guy, huh? I guess it makes sense, right? Emmy's pretty popular, or so I've been told. It's probably that kid from the track team. This is stupid. I can just ask Emmy. So, who's this other guy, huh? You got a secret lover or something? Emmy laughs again. Only I get the feeling it's from nervousness as much as anything else. I have red in my hair. Does that count? Yes. It's just the track team captain. He likes coming down here after practice sometimes. So if we have anything to discuss, I tag along. Oh, I see. Sounds mighty suspicious to me. Oh, I see. I could let the matter drop, but I can't resist at least getting another dig in. So it is a secret lover. I knew it. Rin watches our play, seeming mildly amused before muttering something that I don't quite catch. Anyway... What? Huh? Rin jerks back from whatever her mind wandered off to. What did you just say? Huh? No, before that. No idea. Oh well. Okay. I let the matter drop, but I can't help notice that Emmy seems relieved that Rin interrupted the conversation. I mean, if he's really just nobody, why dance around it? It's kind of weird. Unless he is a secret lover and they don't want me to know that. Oh my goodness. The plot thickens. My goodness. Maybe I went a little too far. Conversation, you didn't go too far. That was just a simple dig, you know. Conversation dies down for a moment as Emmy and I busy ourselves with cake. Mine is strawberry and surprisingly good. Emmy seems to think so too, as she suddenly reaches over with her fork and seals a bit. Is there guys in this besides you? There is one actual speaking character. Oh no, there's there's the teachers and like the nurses, but they don't really count. For students, there's one, and I don't like him at all. I just don't like him. He's a jerk. He just uses you any chance he gets, and oh my gosh, I just don't like him at all. He reminds me of my older sisters, which is why I don't like him. Let's see. Pirate, there's a difference. Like completely narcissistic, it's just, oh man, don't like him. We're not on water. Well, no, but there's a lot of water outside, so it still works, right? Besides, you can have some of mine. I think it's cranberry or something. I should have asked for the strawberry. I like strawberries. Feel free to help yourself to mine if you really must. For some reason, I feel compelled to add, seeing as you've already done it once and all. Emmy sticks her tongue out at me, but that doesn't stop her from appropriating my cake. I've tried some of hers as well. It's raspberry and pretty good. Ooh, raspberry cake. The rains let up. It would appear that Rin is correct. Good timing too. I finished my food and it looks like Emmy has as well. Another try for an indirect kiss. Another try. Well, we'd better pay and move on before it starts raining again. It takes a few minutes to get Yuko's attention, but we pay and get out pretty quickly. So do you want to return to the park? My jaw nearly drops. Are you kidding? It's probably going to rain again. In fact, I think it just felt some raindrops. You may be right. Well, okay. I'll let you off the hook this time, but you owe me a picnic now. Got it? I don't know if she's addressing me, Rin, or the both of us. So yeah, another try for indirect. Oh yeah. Hello, Key. It's good to see you. Fine. Now, hurry up. I wanted to get some laps in at the track, and it would be nice to do it without the rain. I thought this was your off day. Well, Emmy suddenly seems reluctant to explain herself. I need the practice. And I need to burn off that cake anyway. Why do I get the feeling that she's leaving something out? Are you sure it wasn't that much cake? No, it wasn't that much cake for you. I ate most of it. She's got a point there. Still, I feel like I should at least offer to run with her. Oh, a decision. I mean, I've been kind of already going on this path, and I keep quiet. Ah, man, I don't know. Like at the same time, it could be. I mean, I could offer it if she, says no. It's fine. Oh no, I'll go animate. I'll be back in 30 minutes. I will see you then. And scene. Offer to run with her. Yeah, let's offer to run with her. Hey, I'll run with you. I might as well, right? Emmy shakes her head. Emphatically. No, you won't, Hisao. Rest is critical for you, remember? I won't allow you to push yourself too hard. I guess she's better at giving advice than taking it. Whatever you say, Emmy. I think it's probably best not to press the issue. It's all right. As we approach the girls' dormitory, it starts to rain again. Emmy's expression sours suddenly. Aw, man. Stupid rain. Hey, it'll let up soon enough. You can go running then, right? Emmy snorts, seemingly amused. Like I'm not going to run in the rain. But you shouldn't. You could catch a cold. Emmy waves her hand airily. Ridiculous. I don't get colds. My immune system is far too strong for something like that. She's gonna catch a cold. She is definitely gonna catch a cold. I can't help but laugh. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then, okay? Do you do Twitch or Discord or both? I do Discord. Discord. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Oh, and for carrying the picnic basket. I'll bring it for lunch tomorrow. You can have our picnic on the roof. Sounds good to me. See you then. Emmy grabs the basket from me and shoots through the door. Rin gives me a sort of half nod and ambles inside as well. Damn, it's wet out here. I need to get back to my room and into some dry clothes. What is it, may I ask? My Discord invite is in the description. It should be in the description of this video. Or at least should be. I'm soon in front of my door, but I am intercepted by the sudden appearance of Kenji, who appears to be carrying a stack of books. This guy, I don't like this guy at all. I do not like him. Hey man, give me a hand, would you? See, he just asks. You know, he just demands things. I mean, this is not the worst demand he's ever had, but he's just terrible. He's terrible. Huh? The books are unceremoniously dumped to my arms as Kenji fumbles with his room key. Gosh, I hate this guy. Thanks, you're a lifesaver. If you weren't around, I'd have to keep my door unlocked, and that's just begging for trouble. The perfect opportunity to set up an ambush, or maybe just plant a bomb, if they don't want to get their hands too dirty. Probably don't. Afraid they'll break a nail or something if they have to stab me. Women? My mind thinks about digesting the verbal torrent that's just been unleashed, but elects to remain comfortably in the dark. Huh? Anyway, where have you been, man? I could have used some help carrying those back from the library. I knocked on your door, but you weren't there. Oh, sorry. Not really. You appear to think I'm some kind of pack mule. Yeah, I really don't like this guy at all. I was out with Emmy and Rin. Kenji staggers back in shock. See, I'm going to get a stroke because of this dude. It looks like I just shot his dog, if he had a dog. The lipless ladies again? Oh my gosh. What do you do this time? Well, we wound up at the Shanghai. I prevented from continuing by a sudden exclamation of despair. The Shanghai? Why the Shanghai? No, man. You can't just go to the damn Shanghai. It's the most dangerous place in the city. A veritable stronghold of their best agents. I know, I've met them. They'll stop at nothing to lull you into a false sense of security, and then bam! He hits his door for emphasis. Wallet's gone, bus pass gone, identity gone, man. Promise me you won't go there again. It seems so vehemently opposed to the idea of the Shanghai that I'm willing to lie a little in order to get to my room. Sure, I won't go there again. Or at least, I won't ever tell you I've gone there again. This seems to mollify my bespectacled companion. Good. Sorry to come out so strong, but I know the danger there too well to let you just wander into the lion's den again. You got out of there alive once, but twice is pushing it. Yeah, well, I need to get changed and do homework, so I'll see you later. Huh? Oh, sure, whatever. I suddenly remember that I'm still holding his books. You'd better take these. I catch a glimpse of one of the titles, something about cryptography. What a weirdo. Kenji grabs his precious cargo from me and disappears through his doorway. I'm gonna drink some water. Woody, drink the water. Woody. I open my door and walk in, grateful to get out of my soaking wet clothes. The rain outside picks up, and I find myself hoping that Emmy's not out running in this weather. She seemed so adamant about doing the run alone. I can't help but wonder if her leg's still bothering her. I try to remember whether or not I've seen her limping at all today, but I can't. Guess I was too caught up in enjoying the day, even if it did rain on us. And as I think back over the events of today, I keep finding myself focusing on my running partner. Her complete refusal to allow the rain to spoil her plans was incredibly cute, but there was something else there too. Sort of an unflappable attitude when it comes to enjoying the day as it comes. I really like that quality. Maybe I need to do a little of that myself. Cryptids? No, I think it's like cryptography or something like that. What is it? Cryptograph? Basically, it's like, it's decrypting things. Like, code breaking. I had to drink some water. And there we go. The sound of my alarm brings me out of my dream, involving pirates and some other stuff I can't remember. I've had dreams like that. Well, not the pirates part, but I'm a little blurry-eyed, and it feels like it takes me longer than usual to get dressed and down to the track. A glance at my watch reveals that I was right, and I am in fact running a little late. The thing is, there's no Emmy. That's odd. She should be here. She definitely should be here. I mean, I was late. I guess I wasn't the only one who had trouble getting up this morning. The thought crosses my mind that it never quite stopped raining yesterday. Did she go running anyway? It seems likely. Emmy's a lot of things, but cautious isn't one of them. She probably figured the rain wouldn't stop, and that's why she was so adamant about running alone. Still, I would have gladly run with her, even if it was in the rain. Heck, if anything, I would have been able to convince her to come in once it got really bad. That would be why she didn't want me along, of course. What game is this anyway? It is... Let's see, what is it called? Katawa Shoujo. Katawa Shoujo. It is free on Steam. It is free on Steam. It is a... I guess you could say it's a dating sim VN. And it's free. I think it was made like a very long time ago, like over 10 years ago. I think definitely over 10 years ago. It was made by 4chan. It's a very wholesome kind of dating sim game. There's definitely a lot of different paths. Nice. Yeah, Steam, it's free. Even so, I can't help wanting to know where she is. Well, nothing for it. I'd better stretch and run and hope that Emmy shows up with a grit and an excuse. Running. On my cool down lap, I am forced to admit that Emmy isn't showing up. Furthermore, I have no idea where she is. Anxiety gnaws at me, while at the same time, I wonder just why I'm so worried over her. The run helped to take my mind off it for a little while, but now that I'm finished, I'm back to worrying. It was weird not having her here. Downright unnerving. It suddenly dawns on me that I've been running to hang out with Emmy as much as I've been running to stay healthy. Probably more to be with Emmy now that I think of it. It's one of those things that are completely obvious, yet somehow I never realized it. She really is someone I enjoy being with. As revelations go, it's hardly world-shaking. All the same, I find myself feeling slightly shocked. When did this happen? Well, no time to think about this. Though I want to ponder this new development, I have a greater desire to find out what's happened to Emmy. Worry to love. I'll ask the nurse when I stop in to see him. Well, you seem to be in good shape, Hisao. That's good to hear. I replace my shirt and stand to leave as usual. Except instead of leaving, I ask a question. Hey, where's Emmy? She didn't show up this morning. Is she okay? While I try valiantly to conceal the anxiety in my voice, the nurse's expression suggests that I've failed miserably. You mean she didn't tell you? She's sick in bed. What, sick? The nurse shrugs. I knew she'd get sick. What did I miss? Well, not too much. The Emmy didn't show up at the track, and I'm just now finding out that Emmy is sick. Yeah, she came to my office early this morning with a fever. To be honest, I'm surprised she made it here. She was burning up when she arrived. I believe she planned to let you know, but she asked me to tell you. Oh, shoot. The nurse gives me a sheepish smile and seems at least partially sincere. I told her I'd stop by the track to let you know in case she forgot to. Sorry about that. My goodness. But we don't need to tell Emmy I forgot, right? I return the nurse's smile with a devious one of my own. Oh, of course not. This is fine blackmail material. I'll save it for whenever I need a favor from you. The nurse laughs. Well, I guess I deserve that. But you know, I've got tons of blackmail on you that you're not even aware of. So don't push your luck, okay? My expression earns another laugh from the nurse. I'm just kidding, Giselle. But seriously, don't tell Emmy I forgot, okay? Your secret is safe with me. Oh good, now go on, get out of here. Wait, I've got one more question. Shoot, is she going to be okay? Oh yeah, definitely. Her fever was high, but it was already starting to go down by the time she came back by my office. I'll probably check up on her again at lunch to be sure, but I expect she'll be up and about by the evening, no matter what I tell her. Maybe I should visit her after class. It takes me a second to realize I've spoken aloud. The nurse raises an eyebrow and gives me a searching glance for a moment. Well, it might not be a bad idea. You could let me know if she'd taken a turn for the worse, I guess. But no funny business, okay? You got it? I know what beds you're on, after all. I think that's a threat against my life, but I'm not sure. Emmy is scary. Either way, I assure the nurse that my intentions are chaste and exit the office. Interesting that the nurse sees me as some sort of potential suitor to Emmy. Even more interesting is how pleased that makes me feel. I need a shower. The lunch bell rings, and I find myself disinclined to make my way up to the roof. After all, I'm betting Rin knows where Emmy is. If that's the case, then I doubt she'd bother going up there. More to the point, I doubt we'd have any sort of scintillating conversation if she did. Chances are she'd prefer to be alone up there anyway, so I don't accidentally ruin her train of thought or something. Unfortunately, I don't really feel like heading to the cafeteria either. I guess I'll go to the library instead. Do I get to talk to the burn girl that I keep forgetting her name? I need a new book to read anyway. Having finished my other one yesterday before bed, maybe I can find more by the same author. I love libraries. They smell like dust and paper and ink. All these stories and facts and opinions crowded together in one place makes the air come alive with potential. I'm not sure how to navigate Yamaku's library yet, having mostly stuck to books I brought with me, so I searched for the librarian to ask for help. Wait a minute. If this is a school for disabled and people who are missing something, then there must be a person in this school who is missing the brain, right? Probably Kenji. Although for him, I think he's just mostly blind. I can't believe it. Yuko, looking rather distracted, suddenly emerges from one of the aisles. Excuse me. Oh, can I help you? Actually, I was looking for a book. So am I. Advanced cryptography. We just got it in and now it's gone missing. Oh, that guy stole it. I really, really wanted to read that one. Oh, was it cryptography? Cryptography. Yeah, that is, this guy I know, not sure how to describe it. Skip to the end. He got me interested in cryptography. Only now the book's gone, and I think it's been stolen. Sounds pretty terrible. Yeah, especially because now I have to search the whole library for it. Even though it's probably not even here. You seem busy. A little. Why don't I just tell her that the guy took it? She dashes off down another aisle, and I resign myself to finding my own damn book. Plenty of choices. It's not like I like Kenji or anything. Oh, come on. How did I get lost? These aren't even printed books. They're all in Braille. Yeah, that's me. I guess that makes sense in a school like this. But honestly, it's a little annoying. I'm sorry, is someone there? Oh, Lily. A lilting voice drifts out from behind one of the cubicles set up for research. I'm the brainless one. As I approach, I see that Lily's been reading a book while I've been stomping about the aisles. Oh no, I should be apologizing. I didn't mean to make so much noise. My, is that you, Hisao? I've not heard from you in quite some time. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten all about me. Oh, sorry. Lily laughs in that refined manner of hers and shakes her head. I'm only teasing you, Hisao. From what I hear, you've been busy. Morning runs with Emi Ibarazaki and lunch on the rooftop, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I guess word gets around pretty quickly. That and I can't coax poor Hanako, that's her name, on the roof anymore. You three are always up there, claiming the spot for yourselves. She chides me gently, though it's pretty clear she's just teasing me again. Still, I feel an odd need to apologize. Sorry, we could eat lunch somewhere else if it's a real problem. Oh no, I wouldn't worry about it. Hanako and I have other things to do at lunch too. Such as read in the library, as you can see. Oh, Hanako's here too. I didn't see her. Lily smiles a bit enigmatically. Oh, she's around somewhere. But I'm surprised, Hisao, you're in here instead of up there. What brings you to the library? Well, Emmy's ill, so there's no lunch on the rooftop to keep me occupied. Lily raised an eyebrow at my statement before giving another chuckle. My poor Rin must feel left out. It's not like that. Is this a love type game or something? It is a romance kind of game. But I'm sure it isn't. Emmy tends to be the life of whatever group she's in. It's a shame to hear she's fallen ill. Will she be okay? Somehow I get the feeling that Lily's just inquiring out of politeness, but I respond anyway. The nurse thinks so. I'm going to swing by and see how she's doing after school myself. Another raised eyebrow. My, what a noble gentleman you are, Hisao. It's nothing, really. Just checking up on my friend after all. So it's just friends, is it? How disappointing. I blush, glad that Lily can't see it. But somehow she knows that I have been fluttered by her comment anyway, and laughs. I'm sorry, Hisao, I'm teasing you. Please do tell Emmy that I hope she feels better, won't you? A glance at my watch reveals that I'm very nearly out of time to find my book. Of course. Hey, I've got to find a book before lunch is over, so I'd better get moving. See you later. That was probably not the best phrase to use. Lily, however, takes my gaffe in stride. Until we meet again, Hisao. I never do find the book I was looking for, but I walk out with something else instead. My stomach growls slightly, letting me know that I should have had something for lunch. Oh well. The only worry I have is that Emmy might be a yandere. I don't know if this is that kind of game. I think that everybody just is fairly wholesome in their own kind of way. And drink some more water. Man, my throat does not like it today. Oh, hello, RC. Hello, RC. Good to see you. Let's see. I'll grab something before I visit Emmy later. You might have a harem. I don't know if this is a harem game. And even if it was, I wouldn't want to do the harem route. I don't really like harem stuff. It seems as if time has decided to slow down for the express purpose of annoying the hell out of me. How's the game? It's pretty good so far. I do enjoy the story. Class feels like it drags on for ages. I suspect that my being consumed with worry probably has something to do with it. Understandable. Good news. I'm not lazy anymore. Nice. Blessedly, the bell rings, and I dash out of class, drawing a few raised eyebrows, I'm sure. I've spent the majority of the day fretting as unobstrusively as I could. I mean, all of them would be for you. I think the only two I really do like, well, I guess three, because Lily's not bad either. I think Lily, Hanako, and Emmy are the three I kind of like the most. I think I messed up on the route with Hanako, though. I think I made the wrong choice somewhere. Emmy, let's say, even though the nurse thinks that Emmy's perfectly okay, I want to see for myself. It doesn't take long to get to the girls' dormitory and make my way to Emmy's room. Standing outside her door, I suddenly pause. What if she's resting? I'd hate to wake her up, especially if she's still feeling ill. Then again, if she just sleeps all day, then it could throw off her sleeping schedule. Can't say I play these type of games. I might be missing out. I mean, it depends on if that's your type of game or not. I didn't know that it would be my type of game until I did the Doki Doki game, and then I realized, oh, I do enjoy these games. I mean, I did do Slay the Princess as well, and I went for the wholesome ending in that one. That was a good one too, although that one is fully voice acted, so I don't really need to have to read all that much. But rest is important if you're ill, isn't it? I can't decide what to do, so I settle for standing outside the door, looking like an idiot. Then I hear Emmy's voice from behind the door. Thanks for your concern, but I really am okay. Is she talking to me? I'll see you at practice tomorrow. I guess not. Still, clearly she's not asleep, so I knock without worry. So why this clenched feeling in my gut? I wasn't nervous about dropping by the other day, so why today? Oh, is it it's the captain, isn't it? Granted, I still haven't really had time to figure out this newfound interest in Emmy's well-being. I sort of do play this games, but not all the time. Yeah, it's definitely not the type of game you just play all the time, it's every once in a while kind of thing. I don't have a lot of experience in the matter, of course, but certainly this seems to go beyond feelings of mere friendship. But could I take that step? Could I even bring myself to risk what I have right now? I mean, it's enough to be friends with her, isn't it? Either way, shouldn't I just open the door and see how she's doing? That's why I came here, right? What if she's not dressed yet? The image that flashes through my mind causes my heart to beat us. Oh, skip beat, literally. Oh no, you're gonna have a heart attack in front of her door. I should probably not ever think of those thoughts again. Not if I want to avoid a heart attack. I suddenly realize I'm still standing in the hallway, looking like an idiot. Emmy still seems to be in the middle of a conversation, but I knock anyway. Hopefully she won't mind the interruption. You worry too much. Come in, the door is unlocked. So it is. I open the door and step in, which is about where my thought process comes to a grinding halt. Emmy is sitting up in bed, her hair tousled from a day spent asleep. I think this is the first time I've ever I've seen her without those familiar beads in her hair and seam. Her gym shirt and bloomers, obviously hastily pulled on before I came in, are creased and folded from less than proper storage. Her legs laid bare on the sheets. I've never seen Emmy's without prosthetics before, yet here she is, slender legs, terminating in stumps just below her knees. She is cute with her hair down, I agree. But as odd as the sight is, I find myself more captivated by everything north of the waist. It seems that Emmy has finished her conversation with whoever was on the phone with her and is now watching my reaction closely out of her one open eye, and she wipes sleep from the other. Her expression, far from being embarrassed, is rather one of a surprisingly wide yawn, one perhaps appropriate from such a small mouth. A grin, for a brief moment, seems almost flirtatious, tugs at the corner of her mouth as she takes the sight of me in. I can do nothing but remain in the state of fluctuating between fear and confusion, and not a little bit of lust. Oh my goodness. My eyes are burning from the holiness. Emmy hastily sweeps her hair out of her eyes, fixing it back into place before addressing me. You seem a bit caught off guard, Hisao. A wave of laughter erupts from her, and I find myself grinning and rubbing the back of my head ruefully. Sorry, I've just never seen someone so disheveled look so attractive. Never seen you without your legs on. Never seen you look so... sorry. Emmy giggles again and moves to sit up a little straighter. I'm caught up in the movements of her shirt, very nearly losing myself. I was wondering what your reaction would be. The nurse called and told me you were going to drop by, you see. And I know you haven't seen me, well, you know, without legs. I respond in a tone of casual surprise. Oh, you don't have them on. I didn't notice. This is almost the truth. I very nearly didn't. I'm not trying to be a suave or anything, mind you. Somehow I think Emmy would get offended by that. Instead, she sticks her tongue out at me and chucks a pillow at my head. Ass. I deftly catch the pillow and take careful aim before throwing. Emmy laughs and rolls to one side, dodging my shot, the shifting of her shirt distracting me enough so that the next thrown pillow hits me right between the eyes. Oof. I retaliate, of course. And once I've retaliated twice, well, a war was bound to break out sooner or later. And really, when Emmy appears to have far better aim than me, well, it was just a matter of time before I'd have to resort to a suicidal charge. Gotcha. Bam. Smack. Well, got to go to work. See you when you do another live. See you then. And have a good time at work. And once the charge was accomplished, well, of course I'd have to wrestle the pillows away from her. And with that kind of struggle, of course we'd wind up in this sort of position. Pillow fights are fun. And so I find myself staring down at her from a position atop her. Oh no. She's grinning, eyes sparkling with amusement, maybe a little sweaty now from our tussle. Her chest is heaving up and down, sucking in air. The small bit of my brain that is not currently enraptured by the sight and smell of her observes that she must still be ill because her stamina's not what it should be. She did not just put her hair up. We stay that way for a while. I'm not sure how long before everything seems to go fuzzy. Everything that isn't her anyway. Her eyes meet mine, and deep inside them I almost catch a glimpse of, what, fear? Longing? Hope? Emmy? I cough suddenly, convulses her, and I'm almost stumbling to my haste to get off to apologize for everything. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It's fine, it's fine. She gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. So what brings you here? She's still breathing hard, and that causes her voice to shake slightly. Well, before I was so rudely assaulted by pillows, I came to see how you were doing. Wham. This earns me another shove, and I very nearly fall off her bed. Emmy's eyes sparkle again, and I wonder how I never noticed how attractive they were before. Consumed with worry, were you? Her tone is mocking hotly, teasing. Hello, Brother Doom. It's good to see you, it's good to see you. You've came at a time. One of the times of all time. She throws her arms across her forehead, dramatically grin, still apparent from underneath. Couldn't bear the thought of me laying deathly ill. Definitely a time. As we both recover from our brief wrestling match, Emmy appears to fall back on teasing me. I hope it's censored. Hello, succulents. So far, there hasn't been any actual things like that. We've just been wrestling, you know. Well, I wouldn't say consumed with worry, but after you didn't show up this morning, I'm like a total wuss. Emmy pouts, crossing her arms. Puntulately, and sticking her lower lip out. I for some reason cannot read. It's not my fault. Nurse wouldn't allow it. Sure he wouldn't. I completely believe you. Emmy sticks her tongue out again. You're such a jerky sound. So how was your day then, huh? Did you enjoy slacking off? Not really. The phone woke me up pretty early on. The phone? Yeah, the captain of the team called to make sure I was doing okay. Also to let me know it was okay to skip practice. Good. At least she wasn't alone all day. Someone checked up on her. His timing is great. Although I can't help but think that it should have been me. Oh, that's good. Should have been me. He really keeps an eye on you, huh? Emmy shrugs. It's his job. Part of being the captain means you know where your team members are when they're not in school. Still, I guess it was nice of him to call, huh? Yep, sure was. Emmy yawns and sniffles down to a more comfortable position, or shimmies. So how was your day? Kind of uneventful, you know? I went ahead and ran by myself and talked with the nurse about how you were doing. I see, I meander through the day's events, none of which are particularly engrossing. If you have a second, please look at your phone. My phone? What's going on with my phone? I don't see anything on my phone. That's when I'm distracted by an arm, finding its way across my waist. It seems that Emmy fell asleep while I was talking, so I draw her blanket to cover us. Oh my goodness. She's rolled over on her side, and now one leg is thrown over my leg, effectively trapping me. Hey? Seems a shame to wake her, but I have things to do. I gently shake her up, but in response she only tightens her arm's grip on me and sighs a little. My resistance to this position crumbles rather quickly. The feeling of her body breathing steadily is both calming and incredibly stimulating at the same time. My breathing cannot decide if it wants to relax or speed up. Relaxation wins, and I find myself putting an arm around Emmy. Oh, I think I'm in love. The words slip out and hang in the air unnoticed. At least I hope they've gone unnoticed. Emmy whimpers weakly through her dream, and her grip suddenly tightens again. For the first time since I've known her, I can see tears running down Emmy's face. So cute. It feels like my heart is about to break. I instinctively tighten my own grip and stroke her hair in what I hope is a soothing manner. Words of comfort meaningless in this situation spring to mind. Maybe I should wake her. Are you supposed to wake people having nightmares? No. I can't for the life of me remember. The decision is taken from me as Emmy suddenly jerks awake with a cry. Dad. This is more than I think I won't want to hear without her knowing. I quickly sit upright and gently shake her shoulder to stir her. Hey, you okay? What a silly question. Huh, what? Hisao. She shakes her head as if to clear it and quickly wipes her eyes. You've had a nightmare, I think. Emmy shudders again and glances up at me, a little cautiously, as if unsure whether or not she's actually up. Yeah, I guess so. You want to talk about it? A speedy internal debate seems to be going on in her head, which resolves itself with a shrug. No, I don't really remember much of it. I'm pretty sure she's lying to me, but somehow I don't think I should press the issue. It's probably about the car crash. Emmy shudders again and turns towards me, looking a little sheepish. Sorry for falling asleep on you like that. I keep my voice as soothing as I can. Hey, don't worry about it. You've been ill. Yeah, I guess that cold medicine's just made me a little drowsy. I guess so. Emmy does not strike me as the sort of person who'd fall asleep at the drop of a hat. Rin maybe, but Emmy's far too energetic. Emmy gives a half smile at my response, and then just like that, she's back to her old self. Well, prepare yourself for tomorrow morning, Hisao. We'll have to go twice as hard to make up for today. But I went running this morning. I'm not gonna lie, but Emmy looks exactly like me. No excuse. Oh, fine. I'll be ready for you. Emmy nods satisfied. You got the green eyes and the ponytails. Good. I take this as my cue to exit. Well, I'd better get going, especially if I want to get enough sleep for tomorrow. I hop off the bed and head for the door. Hey, Hisao? I pivot neatly on the heel and face Emmy. She opens her mouth to say something, and then in another burst I see her falter slightly. She closes her mouth and opens it again. Thanks. For dropping by, I mean. You're kind of the first visitor I've ever had who it wasn't Rin. Now that's surprising. I would figure that Emmys have people dropping by all the time. Varden, I'm buying you a book to learn how to read. No, I can't. I must learn this way. She's certainly popular enough, or so I thought, always talking to people in the hallways. Emmy hesitates again. And thanks for staying around after well... A look of pain flits across her face. You know. It helped. She brightens back up and waves cheeringly at me. See you tomorrow. Yes, see you later. I'm just about to exit the door when something makes me turn around again. Hey, Emmy. Anytime you need to talk, let me know, okay? Emmy seems taken aback by this offer. Her grin gets even wider. Sure thing, Hisao. See you in the morning. I exit Emmy's room with my head in a whirl. Should I have even left? Was she really okay? I want to turn around and march back down the hallway, open the door and tell her. Tell her I love her. Tell her I think she's beautiful. Tell her that I'll be there when she needs me. I want to stay with her, to hold her close as she falls back to sleep. How many nights have she woken up like that? Only to find that nobody's there. I want to be the person she might be with when that happens. It's a silly thought, I know. We don't know each other that well, do we? It's only been like 2 weeks, I think. Maybe third. I think he's maybe starting the third week. The whole idea, while exhilarating, also makes me feel worry. Worry perhaps that I'd overstep my bounds. And now to add to my troubles, it seems as if Emmy herself already has an interest in someone else. This track captain of hers who seems so interested in her well-being. True, I've only seen the two of them together a few times. That doesn't change the fact that they seem better suited to one another. No, don't think that. There's really nothing to be done about that. I need to take my mind off of this whole situation. I've got homework to do. Maybe that will distract me. Nice. You will read the book that teaches you how to read? No. And I come back to this question again. When you will play Sekai, there's a huge update. Well, the Sekai is on the phone, and I don't really do phone games. I only do PC stuff, you know? Seem. A night of restlessness has left me feeling fairly groggy this morning. The events of the previous day keep intruding upon my mind. The memory of how Emmy felt against me. The memory of our wrestling match. And most bothersome, the memory of her nightmare. She was in so much pain. I can't stop wondering what it must be like for her to wake up with nobody there. The shower shocks me awake with hot water. Awake, but still worried. What will happen today? Will things just go back to normal? End of the episode, back to the status quo. There was a connection yesterday, something that nearly pushed us past the boundaries of normal friendship. Would that have been so bad? My mind goes back to the look in Emmy's eyes after our pillow fight. It almost seemed like she was daring me to go on. Almost. But I can't know for sure. Anyway, the track captain's probably first in her affections. But even as I say that, my mind is already snorting derivatively. I'm just looking for an excuse, a reason for everything to go wrong, a reason to not try. It's not as if I've even seen them two together outside of track practice, and clearly he's never visited. Emmy said as much herself. If they were close, surely he'd visit. I'm such a wuss. I ought to just go for it anyway. Damn the consequences. Yeah, exactly. That's what Emmy would do, I think. Hell, I know that's what she'd do. Which is partially why I'm convinced there's no interest on her end. She hasn't acted either. Maybe because of this track captain. It's possible she's got a bit of an unrequited crush thing going on. But who would be able to clarify their relationship? I'm sure as hell can't be Emmy. She'd probably just laugh and ask why I wanted to know. And I'm not ready to answer that yet. It'd be Rin. Rin would probably just give me some cryptic answer or something. And then, with my luck, she'd just ask Emmy, who would ask me why I wanted to know. And I've already covered that problem. I wonder. Could I just get away with asking the nurse? He seems pretty protective of Emmy. I'm sure he'd know if something was up. And he owes me for not letting Emmy know he forgot to tell me about her being ill, so I'll keep quiet. What if he asks me why I want to know, though? I can shake him off. Just say I'm curious as a friend. He'll buy that, won't he? No, he won't. Of course. That's settled then. After the run, I'll talk to him while Emmy's waiting outside the office. There's no sign of Emmy when I arrive at the track. Is she still ill? I decide to give her 10 minutes. I'm a little early and she was ill yesterday, so if she takes a while to show up, it shouldn't be surprising. Still, I'd hate to just waste my time, so I occupy myself by stretching and pacing back and forth anxiously. What if I went too far yesterday? What if she doesn't come because she's embarrassed? What if... You're early again, Hisao. I'm impressed. Just like that, I feel some of the tension leaving my body. Emmy seems to be bright and cheerful as usual, with no sign that she's even was ill the other day, much less had a less than restful sleep. Still, I have to ask, sleep well last night? It's just a throwaway question, small talk. The sort of thing people ask someone they bump into in the cafe while getting their morning coffee. But not for us. At least not for me. I don't know if Emmy realizes that I'm actually concerned about how well she slept last night, but the question does give her pause. After a short moment of what seems like her genuinely pondering this, she nods. I watch Iron Mouse on it. Oh, my goodness. Yep, sure did. Was it because of me? Did I actually help? Or are you just saying that to get me to stop asking questions? Good to hear. Emmy grins and begins warming up. So, ready to begin? Am I ready? Of course I'm ready. I was born ready. Emmy laughs at my bravado, and we take off running. I keep a steady pace the whole time, breathing steadily. I still feel dead at the end, but at least I don't gasp like a fish out of water now. Emmy is positively beaming after the run today. Nice job, Hisao. You're improving. You'll be half as fast as me in no time. This last line is delivered with a teasing grin that I've grown too used to. Oh, how exciting. Emmy begins to run her sprints while I take a cool-down lap. She's really pushing herself today. By the time I'm done with my lap, she's laying across one of the bleachers, looking exhausted. Goodness, not pushing it a little too much today, are you? You did just have a cold, you'll recall. Emmy gives an annoyed snort and sits up. Bah, I'm just trying to make up for the lost time, that's all. I went twice as hard today, you know? A good run always gets the kinks out, you know? Clears the mind, too. Oh? Emmy nods vigorously. Yep, it's a great outlet for that sort of thing. She does not explain further, and I don't ask. I suspect I know the real reason she went so hard today. Being sick had nothing to do with it. Something's bothering her. Maybe the nightmare, maybe something else. But it's not my place to pry. She'd tell me if she wanted me to know. I'm sure that comes in handy. You have no idea. The sincerity in her voice confirms my suspicion. The only problem is, even though I know she'd tell me if she wanted me to know, I still want to know. Something on your mind then? Emmy doesn't seem surprised by my question. Instead, she shrugs. No, it's nothing worth getting worried about. She seems as if she's trying to convince herself as much as she's convincing me. I open my mouth to ask if yesterday is responsible for her current state of mind, but think better of it. Too much risk of her taking the question the wrong way. Besides, I'm not even sure myself what to think about yesterday. Really, I can only get about as far as how it felt to have Emmy sleeping next to me before my brain shuts down. Having her before me now, covered in sweat and looking wryly at me, she's making it difficult to think. Yeah, I hear you. You'd better hurry to see the nurse. We're running short on time. Aren't we always? Emmy laughs at this, a dry chuckle that seems most un-Emmy-like. Too true. For a brief moment, she looks old, worn down by some old hurt. But just like yesterday, I can almost see her shouldering the burden and strengthening up slightly. And then she brings back to being Emmy again. And then she's back to being Emmy again. Come on then, Hisao, race ya. With a sudden smile, she darts off. Hey, no fair. I take off after her, knowing I can't catch her, but not caring. Even if there's no chance of catching her, I'll still run after her. Emmy's waiting for me at the door as I arrive. Well, well, look who's finally shown up. Yeah, yeah. Enjoying your victory while you can. Emmy grins as the nurse pokes his head out of the door. Well, there you are. Come on in, he's out. In what has become a familiar routine by now, he checks my blood pressure and my heart rate. A bit fast today, isn't it? Yeah, I kind of raced Emmy here. The nurse laughs. That's never a good idea. He leans in to whisper to me in a conspiratory manner. I don't know if you've heard, but Emmy's a bit of a track star. I reel back in mock surprise. Really? She never mentioned it before. The two of us share a little laugh. Did she do okay today? Cold seemed to bother her. Why don't you ask her? He rolls his eyes in exasperation. Of course I'm going to ask her too, but she'll tell me that she didn't have any problems, regardless of whether or not she did. So I'm asking you because you're her friend and would probably tell me if she had trouble today. When he puts it that way, it makes a lot more sense. She seemed pretty good today, if a little more tired than usual. She was already feeling better when I dropped by yesterday, so I'm not that surprised. The nurse nods, though I notice he tenses slightly when I mention yesterday's visit. Well, that's a good to hear. I figured it was just a 24-hour thing. Emmy tends to recover quickly from colds and the like. Hey, speaking of Emmy, are she and the track captain, well, you know? A look of suspicion crosses his face. Why do you ask? Well, it's just that they seem kind of close, and I was just curious, you know. And I'd never ask her because that would be kind of embarrassing. So far, so good. Now to really sell it. Besides, I think they'd make a cute couple. The nurse laughs. Well, I don't suppose you're the first to think that. But I think I can say with some certainty that the two of them will never do anything like that. Certainty? Yep. Not that I could tell you, of course. Confidentiality and all that. Yeah, right. You just like holding a secret over my head. That too. Right. Get out of here. I'm a busy man, you know. I roll my eyes at his last statement and head out the door, motioning to Emmy to go in. The whole time I'm trying to keep from doing a celebratory dance. The two of them will never do anything like that. That's precisely the sort of thing I wanted to hear. I'm half tempted to make some sort of a move on Emmy right now, but I think the nurse would probably disapprove. Besides, I still don't know exactly how Emmy feels about me. I mean, it's obvious that she cares about me as a friend, but something more than that, I can't be certain. Even so, I can't help but feel hopeful. I just need to figure out a good time to tell Emmy exactly how I feel. That puzzle should keep me occupied for the rest of the day, at least. The rooftop is completely deserted. Normally I could count on Rin to be up here before me, but she's strangely absent. I wonder if she decided to accompany Emmy to the cafeteria for once. That seems pretty unlikely, but it's all I can think of right now. Part of me wants to go look for Rin, but a far larger part of me is too pleased with the way the sun feels on my skin to care. I pick idly at my lunch while I wait for Emmy and Rin to show up. It does not take long for me to hear the sounds of someone coming up the stairs. I wait until the door begins to open before talking. Took you long enough. Keep me waiting for you, honestly. The two of you are... Huh? Well, that's odd. The only person standing in the doorway is Emmy, who looks mildly confused. What do you mean, huh? It's me, you know, Emmy. We run in the mornings. She grins and I feel my heart jump slightly at my chest at the sight. Yes, I knew that. I'm just confused. Where's Rin? Emmy's grin is replaced by a rather guilty-looking expression. Yeah, about that. I kind of, sort of, gave her my cold. Oh, she had a dresser, so that makes sense. Oh dear. Am I a risk too? It would make sense after all. Emmy and I were in close contact the other day. So what did she and Rin do that got her ill? Steady on, old lad. Don't go down that road. Rin's just probably got a worse immune system than me. Emmy seems shocked by my comment, like she hadn't considered that before. I hope not. I feel terrible if you get ill because of me, Hisao. Oh man, I think I feel a fever coming on. Emmy looks horrified, and then quickly shifts into a more angry expression. Hisao, you stop getting sick this instant. I won't have it. Impulsively, she seizes me by the collar. Are you listening to me, Hisao? Immune system? Get your ass in gear. Yeah, I've never really did the guessing game with the relationships. It would help a lot if the girls were more straightforward with us. It certainly would make things easier, but sadly, that's just not how it works. I gave a smart salute. Duly noted, ma'am. Emmy steps back and nods, satisfied. Good. You are not allowed to miss any of our morning runs, after all. But you missed a morning run. Emmy crosses her arms and looks at me hotly. Yes, but that's a special case. It was me and not you. That's not an explanation at all. Emmy looks flabbergasted. You're kidding, right? That explanation makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. It's a blatant double standard. I don't see what that has to do with anything. Oh, fine. Emmy seems pleased by her victory. Anyway, is Rin going to be okay? She's not terribly ill, right? Emmy shakes her head. Dope. She'll be fine. I got her some cold medicine. That should help her. Although I probably should have made sure she didn't try to take them all at once. She's done it before, you know. Somehow I don't find this all that surprising. I doubt Rin is one to pay attention to maximum dosages and such. You should probably check in on her later then, just to make sure. Emmy shrugs. I'll stop by after practice. She'll be fine until then. I nod, figuring that line of conversation is over. The only problem is I don't know what else to talk about. So, you got any more track meets coming up? This is a terribly roundabout way of trying to see if she's free on the weekend. If she's free, then maybe I can ask her on a date or something. Yes, yeah, do that. Well, assuming I can get myself to actually form the words. Emmy shakes her head. No, not for another couple of weeks. I think the season's winding down. Oh yeah, I came in right in the middle of things, didn't I? Does that mean exams are coming up soon? I should probably look into that. What do you do on the weekends if there's not a meet? An eyebrow goes up, and Emmy gets a teasing look on her face. You're awfully inquisitive today, aren't you? I shrug and hope it looks casual. Just making conversation. I don't know what it's like to be a track star after all. Fifth, flattery. She waves a hand idly. I'm not actually that good, you know. You just so happen to see me on a good day is all. You liar. Yeah. But humility is the sign of a good athlete. At least that's what my dad used to say. Oh, sads. She shrugs and tries unsuccessfully to hide the rather troubled expression her face has taken on. Hey, what's up? You seem bothered by something. Read the room, man. Figuratively, you're outside. Emmy starts to deny it, then sighs in defeat. I wonder if she's too tired from being sick to get herself to deny it like usual. Or if she's actually just trusts me enough at this point to open up. Well, you remember last night. Do I ever? I settle for nodding, however. That's not the first time that's happened to me. Actually, I get them, kind of. She pauses as if it's suddenly occurred to her what she's doing. It's almost like she's breaking some sort of personal rule here. But she starts up again, choosing her words carefully. Well, not often, but on occasion. It's just been one of those weeks where that's what happens. A sigh escapes her, and she looks terribly frustrated. I reach over and give her a hug, which, unlike last time, doesn't seem to shock her. Instead, she seems to relax as my arms wrap around her. We stay that way for a while. Hey, you know, I was serious last night. You really can talk to me if stuff like this is bothering you. It's always difficult to do this sort of thing solo, you know? Emmy smiles and breaks the embrace, but stays leaning on my shoulder. Thanks, Hisao. I'll be fine, I think. I can already see her reassembling herself, getting ready to bottle it all up again. Guess that's topics closed now. So hey, given any more thought to that career survey? Can't say I have. I don't tend to plan very far ahead, you know? Although I suppose I could at least start looking into college, yeah? I shrug. I suppose unless you were serious about that pirate thing. Last I checked, pirates didn't have much need for universities. I'm with it. I'm with another good news. Nice. Very nice. Good news is good. Emmy giggles and starts to look a little like her old self, but there's a new element to her expression. Impish. That's how I describe it. Emmy looks impish, looking up at me with her head nestled into my shoulder. Would you come with me if I ran to be a pirate? Of course I would. Who in their right mind would pass up the opportunity to be pirates with you? Well, when you put it that way, I'm not sure. She giggles again. I notice that my heart seems to have sped up. It's probably due to Emmy's proximity to me. I finished the most hardest part at the start. Nice. Very good. That hint of strawberries again. I can't help but grin as I gaze down at her. She's happy again. Hey, Hisao. If you're going to kiss me, you should probably do it soon. I think the lunch bell is about to ring. My thoughts grind to a sudden halt. Just do what she says, man. I'm pretty sure my mouth is hanging open in shock. What are you doing? All I can manage is a strangled hunt. No! No! This amuses Emmy even more. You were thinking about it, weren't you? She sits up, bringing her face level with mine. I'd probably enjoy it, you know? You're a really... Well... She briefly composes herself, looking like she's about to say something important. If you hadn't figured it out by now, I think I've developed a bit of a crush on you. You're going to have to do something about that. This time her grin short-circuits several important thought processes. At some point I turned toward her. At another point her arms moved to around my neck. At yet another, my arms wrapped around her waist. I'll be damned if I can tell precisely when that happened. Because at the moment, there's only a voice in the back of my head yelling at me to kiss her. I am that voice, and I'm telling you. I look into Emmy's eyes. There it is. The thing I saw yesterday on the bed. It's there again. It suddenly strikes me that she's worried that I'll reject her. What a silly worry for her to have. Nice. Good job, guy. Nice. It is... The relationship has happened. Her lips taste faintly of strawberries. She leans into the kiss, and her arms tighten around the back of my head, making sure that I don't pull away. Not that there was any danger of that. See, Varden, if girls would just talk to us like this, it would be so much easier. It would. wouldn't it? Gosh, if only. See, this is why she's best, you know, she just tells you. Not that there was any danger of that. There's a churning feeling in my gut. The world falls away. There's just me and her at this bench. My arms tighten, drawing her waist closer, entranced by the feel of her. I inhale her scent, my mind trying desperately to memorize everything about how she tastes, how she smells, how she feels. The ring of the bell snaps us back both to reality, and we break the kiss. Emmy's cheeks are slightly flushed, and she seemed to be catching her breath in her defense. So am I. We stand there for a few moments, trying to wrap our heads around what we've just done. Emmy is the first to break the silence. So, wanna grab dinner after I'm done with practice? What a coincidence. I was about to ask you the same thing. Well, actually, I suppose it was going to be some kind of proper date on the weekend or something, but the thought was there, I think. Emmy gives me a playful shove. Yeah, right. You were still in shock from how incredibly awesome I am at kissing. We begin to head down the stairs, back to our respective classrooms. Hey, I didn't see you talking immediately afterwards either. That I didn't. See you after practice, Izao. She leans in quickly and gives me a quick kiss in the middle of the hallway, sending me into another brief state of mental freefall. As I head into my classroom, a giggling Misha greets me. Why, Hichan, you romantic you. Did you confess on the rooftop, did you? Or, actually, I think it was the other way around. This sends Misha into a fresh fit of laughter. Young love is so unpredictable, isn't it? This being Misha, I suppose I should have expected her to tease me over this. I guess. Before I can really respond, Mitao entered the room and Misha skips off to her seat, giggling all the while. I respect that I'll get a lot of that sort of conversation now, especially seeing as how Emmy kissed me right in the middle of the hall. But somehow I don't care about that. For the first time since arriving here, my heart feels light. Nice. Oh? Act 3. Perspective. That was only Act 2. So we pretty much started our relationship. And now we get to actually play out the relationship. Which is most games, they don't do that. They just like you just get the girl and that's it. And this one, that you actually play it all out. My head's in a spin all through Mitao's class. I'm going to have dinner with Emmy, who wants to be my girlfriend no less. A date. And then she kissed me. That kiss, I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again and again. Everything about that moment felt so right. My mind drifts off, lost in thoughts of Emmy. Nakai, hello? It seems like I've drifted a bit too far. Huh? What? Egid, you've contacted some kind of amnesia? Someone get the nurse. The class chuckles at Mitao's antics. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again, and all that, right? Exactly. Mitao brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I'd hate to have my star pupils slacking off after all. I've been doing well, but I hardly qualify as a star pupil, I think. I'm fairly certain that this class is the sort that everyone does well in. It's just memorizing formulas. True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of the class. Nakai, may I have a word with you? I wonder if I'm in trouble for earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Mitao looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? He tilts his head to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, that? No. You're not in any sort of trouble. There's just a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans for after graduation are. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess. I can't really see a reason not to go. Given any thought to what you'll study? Not really, no. I figure I'll come up with something when I get there. That's a bad idea, don't do that. Mitao laughs. Taking things as they come, huh? I'd argue against it, but that's how I did things when I went to university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into a science. I just wasn't sure which one. Ended up with physics, but could just as well have gone for astronomy, or what have you. Actually, I did go for chemistry first, but there was all sorts of things. Mutao trails off and frowns slightly. It takes some minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. So anyway, I did a lot of physics as well, because I had an interest in that, but I wasn't sure if it was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are, yes? He smiles at me enthusiastically, as if waiting for me to confirm that yes, here is where we were. Oh, wait, here is where we are. Guessing this is a bad translation. Somehow I get the feeling that Mutao had a plan for this conversation, but I'll be damned if I can't figure it out. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Mutao frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking perplexed. He then snaps his fingers as if he remembered what the point of all this was. Right, yes, you. Me? Yes, you should look into studying one of the sciences. You're fantastic at it. Unless you rather just go into math. Mutao makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I always liked the experiments more than the proofs. You're saying I should study science at university. Mutao seems thrown off balance by my question. Well, sort of. You could also join the science club. Trouble is, there's not actually a science club. But there could be. You could even be a charter member. A founding father. Of course, you'd need to find other members. Well, only if you want to. We could just start it up with the two of us. And, I could give you things to read and we could talk about them. Or I could help you get ready for university and such as well. Wait. Mutao's rummaging around in his briefcase and tosses me a book. Read that. If it's interesting, then we can talk about it. A brief history of time. I don't know if I actually want to read this, but Mutao seems pretty excited about it. What's it about? Time, space, space-time, black holes and such. And it's not that dense, just to see if that sort of thing's interesting for you. You can understand. Hang around after class and we can either discuss it or I can show you how to make explosives in the lab. He waves a hand at my quizzical expression. Joking, sorry. Still, I've kept you here long enough for now. Think about science as a career path, Akai. I think you'd enjoy it. I'm okay. I will. Thank you for the book. I leave the classroom and look up at the clock. Quite a chunk of time to kill until Emmy's out of practice. Guess I'll give this book a look. I should probably shower as well. Showering before a date's only proper, right? I head back to the dorms. I wonder where I'm supposed to meet Emmy. Anyway, she said after practice, but she didn't say where I should find her. I guess I can just swing by the track. That's probably best anyway. If she needs a shower, I can just wait for her in her room or something. Or in the hallway, I guess. That would be better as well. I take a quick shower, remembering to take my medication once I hop out. Now for a look at this book. Nice. I wake with a start. Shit, what time is it? Glance at the clock reveals I've been asleep for nearly an hour. Thank goodness. Emmy's practice should be finishing up soon. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Somehow I get the feeling we won't be doing anything fancy for dinner. Emmy doesn't strike me as a very fancy sort of person. Still, I suppose there's a lot I have yet to know about Emmy. Despite our profound closeness, I still feel like I don't know her as well as I should. Oh well, I have lots of time to fix that. To be honest, I'm looking forward to getting to know her more. I'm so caught up in my own thoughts that I'd hardly register that I'm already at the track. Emmy is nowhere to be found. I don't even see any signs of the track team. This could be embarrassing. I turn to head toward the girls' dormitory when I hear a shout. Hey, Hisao. I turn around to see Emmy making a beeline for me with a gym bag slung over her shoulder. She's changed into some decidedly more casual clothing, a pair of shorts and an olive green top. Her running blades have been replaced by more realistic looking legs that probably wouldn't fool anyone. Emmy doesn't seem to care about that, a fact that makes me smile. Hey, you came. I mean, I'd figured you would, but still. I suddenly find myself wrapped in a rather affectionate hug, and it proves to be impossible for me to keep what must be the world's largest grin off my face. Well, of course I came. I'd be crazy not to, right? Emmy ponders for a moment. You know, that's true. I mean, I'm pretty amazing after all. I shrug in response. I certainly think so. It's an offhand remark, which is why I'm surprised to see that it seems to have caught Emmy by surprise. She blushes and smiles warmly at me before planting a kiss on my lips. Now it's my turn to be surprised. Emmy steps back, resting her weight on her back heels, looking pleased with herself. My brain fumbles for an appropriate response. I should compliment you more often. Me what? Yes, we are finally officially dating. Emmy laughs and gives me a playful shove. Jerk. I throw an arm around Emmy's shoulders and am pleased when she immediately leans into me as if it were the most natural thing in the world. So where to? I'm not actually sure. Where do people go on dates around here anyway? That's a damn good question. I've got no idea. Why don't we just head down to the Aura Mart and grab something portable? Emmy's face brightens at this idea. A picnic? I think you're onto something, Hisao. Emmy snakes her arm around my waist, and we begin to head for the front gate. I'm entirely unsure of what I've meant to do in this situation, but at least Emmy seems to be equally clueless. Despite the relaxing feeling of being with Emmy, I still can't help feeling a little tense. What if I do something wrong? I'd hate to make an ass out of myself. The trip to the Aura Mart is accompanied by Emmy's chatter about how practice went. I keep quiet for the most part, merely enjoying the wrath of being around Emmy. We got a few odd looks from passerby, but I don't mind. We wind up buying some bread and instead noodles, realizing too late that we cannot actually cook the latter in the park. Oh well, I'll make it for lunch or something. That'll work. The park is located after a brief loss of direction that I blame entirely on Emmy. She, of course, blames me. We find a spot beneath a tree and sit down. I lean back against the trunk. Emmy sits across from me. I guess we should have brought a blanket or something to sit on, huh? Emmy shrugs. I don't mind. Neither do I. Emmy tosses me a package of bread and we dig in. Curry bread, interesting. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to what I grabbed in the store. Hey, Hisao, you look like your bread's a little spicy. I shake my head, trying in vain to keep an image of manliness. No, it's hardly spicy at all. I see. That must be why your face has gotten so red. Yes, exactly. The lack of spice has gotten my blood up because of the disappointment. Emmy laughs and swallows the last of her bread. Well, if you can't handle it, I'll be glad to take it off your hands. Hey, just because you wolfed down yours so quickly doesn't mean I'm just going to give you mine. Emmy mock pouts, causing me to nearly choke on my bread with laughter. Aw, come on, Hisao. Aren't you supposed to be concerned with making sure I've got enough to eat now? We're dating, you know. Though, Emmy looks troubled all of a sudden. I can't say I feel any different. What do you mean by that? What makes this a date? It's just what we would have done anyway, really. But this should feel different because before, when we had lunch, we were friends. But now, we're a level above friends. You sound like Rin. Laughter escapes, and Emmy grins. Well, she might have put the thought into my mind. We've talked about that sort of thing before. Really? About me? Not really, just stuff, really. Rin thinks that the change of a label from friend to girlfriend seems arbitrary most of the time. Like there's no difference between the two. I can think of at least one, you know. You don't tend to kiss your friends quite as much. For a second time today, Emmy blushes slightly and giggles. I suppose you're right. Exactly. I'm always right about these things. Like this. Emmy rolls her eyes and chuckles. Guess you're pretty smart, huh? I nod in agreement. Yep. Even Mitao thinks so. He thinks I should go into some scientific study after graduation. Emmy raises an eyebrow. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm thinking I actually might do just that. Really, the more I consider the idea, the more it appeals to me. I make a mental note to look into a little more closely. So what are you thinking of doing after graduation? Still planning on running. Emmy shrugs, seemingly almost a bit hesitant. I don't know, if I'm good enough, I can find a team, I guess. You mean you aren't sure? I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Really? You probably should, you know. Graduation isn't that far off. Emmy fidgets a little nervously. Yeah, well, it's far enough, right? Besides, I've got other things to think about. There's a mischievous flash behind Emmy's eyes, and I suddenly find myself gloriously pinned against a tree. Like making sure this is a real date, right? I mean, if we don't kiss, then it's not a date at all, right? I suppose. Strawberries and curry, not the best combination, but I don't think I mind. Emmy sits back on my legs and grins again. There, science would approve, right? I have the oddest mental image of Mitao nodding seriously, making a mark on some checklist. I can't help but laughing at the idea. Well, I'll admit, this is the first time I have ever witnessed a kiss being met with laughter. Should I feel offended? Huh? No. I'm sure science approves. Emmy beams at me, and I find it seem increasingly difficult to keep my brain functioning properly. Oh, good. It is at this point I notice that Emmy has stolen the remainder of my curry bread, while I was otherwise occupied with images of teachers wielding clipboards. Hey. Emmy tries to look innocent, but considering she's just crammed the last bits of my bread into her mouth, it does not appear to be working. Corey couldn't resist. Thief. A shrug from my companion is all I get in response. You used your feminine wiles on me. I wasn't that hungry anyway, but I still feel that a point needs to be made. Emmy seems confused by my phrase, feminine wiles, but the understanding dawns on her features after a moment's thought. Wasn't anything of the sort. You were laughing. Feminine wiles doesn't involve laughing. I guess I can't argue with that. That doesn't change your thievery. Emmy laughs at my injured tone and gives me a playful shove. Fine, you can have the instant noodles. Are you kidding? That stuff's terrible. If anything, you should definitely eat it as punishment. Another laugh from the girl sitting on my legs, both of which have fallen asleep by now. I twitch one leg to try waking it up, which has the unintended effect of unbalancing Emmy, who falls to the side with a startled "eep." Whoops, sorry about that. Legs fell asleep on me. Emmy remains on the ground, giggling. I stand up a little shakingly, feeling the nerves in my legs return to normal. My eyes wander over the scenery before fixing on the figure of Emmy, who has yet to get up. Her hair is splayed out around her head. Her arms are spread and laughter is bubbling up through her mouth. Everything about Emmy seems condensed into this one image. Her energy, her spirit, her childish giggling. The urge to lay down on the grass with her rises swiftly from the back of my mind to the forefront of my thoughts, and indeed I am convinced that I would love nothing more than to do just that. Unfortunately, the sun has set, and it is probably time for us to get back to the dormitories. While Emmy may be happy to stay out here all night, I don't think I have the ability. Besides, homework soon beckons. It wouldn't make sense to start thinking about things like university and then slack off, would it? I extend a hand to Emmy to help her up. We should probably get going. Emmy makes a sour face. You're right. She grabs my pre-offered hand, and I pull her to her feet into a hug. This time, I'm the one who kisses her, unable to resist having Emmy against me. Seems a shame to leave, you know? Yeah, it does. But if we don't get back to the school soon, we'll probably get into trouble. Emmy pokes me in the ribs, playfully. And you need to do your homework, I'm sure. Sadly, you're absolutely right. I throw my arm around her shoulders, and we make the trek back to the school, accompanied by the occasional bouts of laughter as our conversation jumps from the subject to subject. Everything from running to school to the peculiar way that one of the cafeteria workers smells. All too soon we find ourselves outside of the girls' dormitory building. Well, I guess I'll be going then. I guess so, huh? Emmy grins at me again with that mischievous look. Are you going to be able to survive without me? I laugh. I'm sure I'll manage. How terrible. Aren't you supposed to say something like, I'll be counting the seconds you are away? No, I don't think so. Emmy pulls me down into a quick goodbye kiss and sips back, looking unexpectedly shy. Thanks for dinner. I really had fun. Honestly, I did. So did I. I think we shall have to do it again sometime. Emmy laughs at my deadpan delivery, nods. See you bright and early tomorrow morning, right? You've gotten thrown off that bread after all. Of course, despite the fact that you ate most of it. Yes, despite that. See you later, Hisao. As Emmy turns to head inside, I notice something weird. Something so weird that I'm surprised I didn't notice it earlier. She's limping slightly, favoring the left leg. Hey, Emmy. Is your leg okay? Emmy looks confused, or at least face confusion. What are you talking about? Your right leg, you're limping. There's the briefest flash of concern on Emmy's face. Either she didn't want me to notice, or she didn't think I'd notice, or perhaps to think she just didn't realize it. Oh, that. She shrugs casually. Must have gotten knocked a little out of alignment during the picnic. No idea what would have caused that, of course. I think back to being pinned under the tree. You should have told me. We could have stopped and fixed it, you know? Emmy waves a hand airily. No, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it, okay, Hisao? It's fine. Why do I get the feeling that she's convincing herself as well as me? Oh, no. Oh, man, I hate choices like this. I could just let it rest. Or press her, but it would seem to be a weird to press her at this moment. I mean, what would Emmy do? Emmy would press me, you know? She would press me. Oh man, let it rest or press? Oh man. Let's see, I am concerned for her. But, you know, this is still, it can be something that's not that big of a deal. Well, this could be a bad choice, but we're gonna press her. It seems like if we had such a good time, and then I'll suddenly press her on something. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're pressing. Are you absolutely sure? You don't want to go ahead and adjust it before us heading up the stairs? You would get hurt if you don't, right? I said it was fine, Hisao. Seriously, don't worry about it. I've got some experience in these matters, after all. Yeah, I suppose so. Emmy grins reassuringly. Honestly, Hisao, I appreciate the concern, but I really am okay. Now, really, I need to get going. Your attempts to keep me around are doomed to fail. Of course. Just prolonging the goodbye, I suppose. Another grin lights up Emmy's face. Good night, Hisao. Good night. Okay, didn't turn out to be too bad. As she limps inside, I find myself hoping she's okay despite her reassurances that she's fine. I think I can call that a successful first date. Hell, any day that ends with Emmy pinning me under a tree to kiss me can't be bad, can it? I head back to my room, mentally thank the gods that Kenji doesn't ambush me in the hallway and get started on my homework. Nice. Let's see, despite that last part, I think everything went pretty well. It didn't turn out to be too bad, you know? I mean, we'll see. Because I'm afraid I'll be the overly concerned. I'll be overly concerned, you know? The morning is far too early for my taste. It doesn't help that I had trouble sleeping last night. I should probably save. I just realized I haven't saved this entire time. Just in case. Okay. There were simply too many things to think about. My mind refused to slow down. Instead, I replayed the rooftop, the park, and everything else over and over in my mind. There's a small part of my mind that is still paranoid that this has all been some kind of joke. That I'll meet up with Emmy at the track and she'll act like nothing happened yesterday. I mean, if it's a joke, then she really went all in with it. Pushing these thoughts to the back of my mind, I throw on my running clothes and open the door. Emmy's waiting for me with her usual smile. You're late. Or at least you're not early today. Are you tired or something? I find myself ruefully rubbing the back of my head. To drive her away with kindness, this is not the real world. I don't think they would do that to you. That is true, yeah, because the real world, if you were trying to be concerned like that, you just drive them away. Maybe it'll be alright, you know? Something like that, yeah. Lots to think about and all that. Emmy giggles at my mild understatement. Yeah, I didn't sleep that well either. I was actually glad you weren't early, because I wasn't early either. I wonder if the same thing kept us awake. The image of her weeping face passes through my mind. What kept you up? Emmy's expression falters, but she quickly notices my curiosity and forces a smile. Nothing important. She's obviously not telling me something. The question is, should I press the issue? Something's clearly been bothering her for a while. I want to help her, but would it just come off as being nosy? I mean, at this, I would probably give it another day. She's got to know I care about her, though. Are you sure? If something's bothering you, I'm here to help you sort it out. Emmy laughs then, but it's not her usual laugh. There's an edge to it that seems almost bitter. Sort it out? I'm not sure it can be sorted out, he sounds. An almost grim smile crosses her lips. It's like a smile of resignation. I don't think you could help me anyway. Looks like I missed a lot. Oh yeah, there's been quite a bit. I am now dating her. Although I'm afraid I'm pressing her too much about this problem she's having. She doesn't want to tell me about it. That hurts. I don't want to say that it hurts to her, but it does. Doesn't she realize I want to be there for her when things go wrong? Well, I won't push you on the matter, but I'm here for you if you decide later that you'd like to talk about it. I have an idea. What's the idea? Oh, but the idea about her problem. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with her legs. It might help. Just a second. I can see the debate raging behind Emmy's eyes. It seems like she wants to tell me, but she's not sure whether or not she can. Hey, forget about it for now, okay? We've got running to do. The mention of running something that she can handle brings Emmy back to her usual self. Right? Hurry up and stretch out, he's out. We've got to get moving. She takes off like a shot, far quicker than I'm used to. Still, I try to keep pace with her, recklessly testing my limits. It gives me a feeling of freedom, like my heart is no longer important. I find myself wanting to laugh, filled with a feeling of moving beyond what I once called my boundaries. The nurse's warnings to not overdo things echo in my mind, and I disregard them. Another heart attack. This feeling I have, the willingness to risk a heart attack for something so trivial as a morning run, feels out of character for me. But is it? Or rather, should it be? I've got a weak heart, sure. It'll never be capable of the kind of speed and endurance Emmy's capable of. Though, I probably wouldn't be able to get that good even if I had a healthy heart. As we round the final bend, I feel my legs screaming in protest, but for the first time I ignore them. I accelerate to the finish at a sprint, nearly catching up to Emmy. That was never going to happen, of course. Still, I feel surprisingly good. Oh sure, my legs feel like they're about to catch fire, and I'm having trouble staying upright. But there's been a shift of some sort today, and it's all thanks to the girl grinning at the finish line, waiting for me. That felt a little faster than usual. My comment is met with a grin and a shrug. Can't have you think I was going to go soft on you now, can I? But you managed to handle it just fine. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Still feeling the high from the run, and moved by a surge of gratitude, I seize Emmy in a hug. Thanks. Really, I'm not just saying that. I'm in your debt. Emmy seems flustered by my words, squirming uncomfortably. Don't be silly, he sounds. Someone had to haul you out here, didn't they? And it's not like you're not doing anything for me, right? I needed a running partner, remember? I shake my head, still pointedly not letting go of Emmy, who stops squirming and merely looks up at me with a quickly deepening blush that almost seems out of character. No, that's not true. You wanted a running partner, but you didn't need one. If I hadn't shown up the day after the festival, you would still run, right? But it doesn't work the other way around. I only managed to make it out a few times before the festival. And without you, I probably wouldn't have made it out at all after that. Emmy smiles at me and props my chest with one finger. You are pretty lazy, Hisao. Hey, I was giving you a compliment. Well, you're welcome, I guess. I'll pay you back somehow. Oh, well, that's not necessary, you know? I mean, I kinda like you, Hisao. And being able to run with you in the mornings isn't exactly a bad deal for me either, so... For someone who gets so much praise, she seems unused to gratitude. I can't think of anything else to say, so he falls silent. My idea failed. Sans. Very sans. I've become aware of Emmy's breathing, of the dampness of her clothing, and of the scent of her. Coming off of anyone else, it would stink. Coming off of Emmy, it fits her in a way nothing else would. Her skin is cool, slick with sweat, and a breeze causes goosebumps to rise. Almost without thinking about it, I lean down and meet Emmy's mouth, which has already moved to meet my own. Her lips are soft, and she hums happily as we kiss, sending vibrations from her mouth to mine. There's a startling rightness to everything about this moment. We fit one another perfectly. The kiss ends, and I finally let my arms drop back to my sides. Emmy is smiling warmly at me and giggles again. Come on, Hisao. We'd better go see the nurse. Then it happens. As she turns to begin walking, she gives out a tiny yelp and stumbles forward. Oh no! Emmy! I leap to steady her and notice with some concern that she's favoring the same leg as last night. No! Your leg! Emmy seems panicked and pushes away from me. It's fine. My expression must seem hurt, because she hastens to apologize. Sorry. Didn't mean to push you like that. I was just... She stumbles for something to say. It's nothing really. Hey, don't worry about it. She's so flustered, I decide to shrug the whole thing off. But there's a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach now that won't go away. I try to step in and help her, and she pushed me away. Smiling, I shove those thoughts to the back of my mind and concentrate on Emmy. I just don't want you getting hurt, that's all. You don't have to worry about me, honest. I'm fine. Yes, you say that, but I don't believe you. Why won't you tell me what's wrong? It's like she gets offended by me trying to help. What am I supposed to make of that? I'm still trying to sort out what happened on the track as we arrive in front of the nurse's office. Emmy raises her hand and knock, hesitates, and turns to me smiling guiltily. Hey, can you do me a favor? Of course. Can you tell the nurse that I'll see him later? I just remembered that I've got some stuff to take care of before class. So I really need to get moving. I peer at her closely and she fidgets under my stare. Yeah, she's clearly just avoiding the nurse. That leg of hers, well, whatever. I said I'd help, and so I will. But I'll make damn sure she sees the nurse before the day's out. Yeah, okay, I'll let him know. Emmy looks like I've just given her a pony on Christmas. Thank you so much. It's now my turn to help her. You're the best, Hisao. I am rewarded for my complicity in her lie by a kiss that makes it all worth it, or so I tell myself. As Emmy heads out of the building, trying hard not to let her limp show, I knock on the door of the office. Ah, Hisao, come on in. I don't see Emmy with you. She's not sick again, is she? From the tone of his voice, I don't think the nurse is expecting me to say, yes, she is. She's ill. Or she said that she'd forgotten to do something, and so she had to skip out, but she'll see you later today. The nurse heaves an exasperated sigh. Honestly, that girl. She's been avoiding me. Yesterday she was in and out of here without even taking off her prosthetics, and now this? Well, at least it's not just me Emmy doesn't want worrying. That's a comfort, I guess. Still, I feel like I should say something about her leg. I said I'd lie for her, but she really needs to see him. Now that you mention it, she was limping pretty badly today. And last night as well. And the nurse's eyes narrow at the words, last night. And what exactly were you two doing last night? We were, on a date. The nurse raises his eyebrows as if surprised. Really? Interesting. Huh? Oh, nothing. His gaze turns thoughtful, and then he grins at me. You don't think you could use some of that boyfriend charm to get her to come see me today, could you? Of course. I was planning on doing that anyway. I think she's really hurt and just pretending she isn't. Yeah, she does that. Afraid I'll make her stop running. Will you? I don't like to, but if it's bad enough that she's been limping, well, I guess I'll have to see what's wrong for myself before I can make that call. I see. Emmy not allowed to run, perish the thought. I don't know if she'd be able to function without running. No wonder she's reluctant to admit anything's wrong. Well, I'll make sure she sees you. Good. Oh, and before I forget, he grins at me again in what feels like a vaguely threatening manner. Don't forget that I know what medications you're on. You be careful around Emmy, you got it? Wow, he looks serious too. Got it. Don't hurt Emmy, wouldn't dream of it. Grand. I hate for you to be late. Late as in late Hisao Nakai. He frowns briefly, dissatisfied. Sounded better in my head. Well, at any rate. Get out of here before you miss your first class. You've got things to do, I'm sure. Shoo. As I leave, I notice the nurse pulling out his phone and dialing a number. Mako, your daughter's being a pain in the ass again. I better head back to my room, or I really will be late. Hey, wasn't he supposed to check my heart rate? Well, he's probably more concerned about her at the moment. The lunch bell sounds, and I bring myself out of the stupor I slipped into during the morning's classes. My lack of sleep last night, coupled with the increased pace of the morning's run, has left me a little exhausted. Despite that, I find myself skipping stairs up to the roof. There's a thrill of excitement now, in addition to the pleasure one gets from eating lunch with one's friends. True, both Emmy and Rin are still my friends, but Emmy has become more than that now. Rin is back in her usual spot on the roof, almost as if she'd never been absent. Feeling better, I take it? A raised eyebrow is my reward for speaking. Better than what? Or better than you felt yesterday? Rin gives my question some serious thought. I'm not sure. I think I might have felt rather good for some of yesterday, but it's all fuzzy. Too much cold medicine. Well, I was asleep, and that usually is pretty good. But I can't remember what it feels like to be asleep, because I'm not conscious for it. It's a real problem. Then again, if I knew how good it felt, I might not sleep anymore. But this way I keep trying, so I guess that's how I can keep from being overtired. An eternal mystery to keep you sleeping at night. Maybe mystery's the wrong word. Intangibly might be the proper way to describe it. I see. No, I don't see at all. I have no idea what she's talking about. But that's okay, since I rarely do. Do you remember what sleeping feels like? Like yesterday. Do you remember what you felt like sleeping yesterday? Well, I actually didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday. Maybe that's because you remember subconsciously. Actually, I think I was worrying about Emmy. Doesn't Emmy worry enough about herself? I hadn't considered that, but it gives me pause. True, but would she ask for help if she needed it? Rin frowns, and I raise an eyebrow. Will I get a proper answer? Probably not. Is there something she should be asking for help with? Her leg, for starters. This seems to catch Rin's interest. Leg? It's hurt, but she won't see the nurse about it. Rin shakes her head in disapproval. You have to make her. Like she makes me go to class for her own good. Otherwise, she could lose her legs again, and that's just too weird. Losing things twice? Especially if you don't find them again to begin with. Unless prosthetics are the same as finding something. But that's a different kind of loss, isn't it? I think so. I wonder. Wonder what? Emmy seems to have snuck up on Rin and me, though Rin doesn't seem especially surprised, which is in itself unsurprising, I suppose. Rin manages to sit herself upright quite expertly, throwing her upper body forward and using her momentum to right herself. Your leg, how's it feel? That earns me a frown and a bit of a glare. It's okay, I think. Not worth worrying about. Tell that to the nurse. He's quite insistent that you visit him, you know. Emmy pouts like I'm just told her she's been grounded. He worries too much. It's not a big deal, just a little soreness. I try to resist rolling my eyes in exasperation. If it's nothing, then you should have no problem seeing him, right? Emmy narrows her eyes suspiciously. Did he put you up to this? Well, maybe a little. But that's not the point. I would have reminded you to see him anyway. It would be terrible to see you really hurt and not doing anything about it. That would make it worse, and I don't really want to see you hurt, you know? Call me crazy, but I kinda would prefer to see you happy and healthy. With each statement, Emmy's frown fades a little more, until eventually she's grinning, albeit a little shyly. Well, if you're going to put it that way, then I guess I'll have to see him. Otherwise, you'll keep worrying, and then I'll never hear the end of it, right? That's right. I'll keep bugging you about it, and that might put a damper on our dates. How's the food, Hisao? Talk to the nurse, Emmy. How was your day, Hisao? Talk to the nurse, Emmy. Hisao, I think I'm ready to go Talk to the nurse, Emmy. See, it doesn't work that well. Emmy giggles at my high-pitched rendition of her own voice, gives me an affectionate shove. My voice isn't that high, jerk. I thought it was pretty accurate. Emmy, I stare at Rin for a while before I burst into laughter. Emmy crosses her arms and huffs mock offended. You're both jerks. Such vile calumnies from you young women. I'm stunned that you would call me, of all people, a jerk. Honestly, I don't know what to think. Emmy sticks her tongue out at me. You ass. So Rin, how's the art club these days? Rin, seemingly as surprised by this sudden change of topic as I am, takes a minute to think before answering. I believe it is okay. Although, Nomiya keeps telling me to work harder. But I don't think he understands my methods. He always struck me as slightly creepy. Rin ponders that statement for a while. I've never really noticed, but I don't pay much attention to him most days, so maybe that's why. How often do you meet? Thinking of joining, Hisao? What? No, I've already decided to join a club. Really? Which one? Well, it's not really much of a club, to be honest. Oh, you joined the tea club? No, I joined the science club, I think. Emmy looks highly confused. We have a science club? Or not really, it's just me. Hisao, that's not a club. That's sitting in your room reading books. No, I mean it's just me and Mutao. I'm just the only student so far. Mutao? Really? A thought strikes her. Oh, is that what you were talking about yesterday? Your meeting with Mutao? Yeah, that was our first meeting, I guess. Emmy giggles. Nerd. Hey, I can't help being clever. You know, I could have used your help years ago. You should have had your heart attack earlier in life, Hisao. I laughed, then realized this is probably one of the very rare times I've laughed about my heart attack. Hindsight. Yeah. The ringing of the bell ends our conversation. Guess we better go. Yeah, I guess so. Come on, Rin, you too. Rin has apparently begun to doze off, so Emmy gives her a sharp bump. I almost had it. Sorry, but you need to go to class. I disagree, but maybe if I nap in class, I'll get it this time. Changing location is sometimes helpful for that kind of thing. Neither Emmy or I bother asking what it is. As we arrive at my classroom, Emmy gives me a quick kiss and heads down the hallway, Rin in tow. I turn to enter the classroom, to be met by the duo of Shizune and Misha. Misha seems to be fighting a losing battle to keep from breaking into a fit of giggles while she translates Shizune's latest rant. While we are pleased, nay, thrilled to see how well you've managed to make new friends and forge relationships, and with such a cutie too, Hichan. I think that last part was probably Misha. We nevertheless feel compelled to politely remind you that public displays of affection are strictly forbidden. Really, that's disappointing. Shichan. By Section 8 of the Code of Conduct laid out in the Student Handbook. In this case, however, ignorance of the law may be your excuse, as we are feeling lenient. And the paperwork required to punish the both of you would only add to the already mountainous volume of work which confronts us, the sole members of the student council, and besides, you two are adorable together. Therefore, consider this a formal warning, and please refrain from such displays in the future, at least when Shizune can see you, Hichan. The whole spiel is so patently ridiculous that I can't help but reply in the same pompous manner. Well, I for one feel enlightened. I apologize profusely for my rash actions and will strive to contain my baser impulses, which I fear impel me towards such inappropriate displays of public affection. I think she is looking for a perfect nap, you know, getting a full night's sleep in 15 minutes. LOL, it's not possible, but I have looked for it myself. Sad. I always feel more tired after napping, which is why I don't do it. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. It is hardly my wish to burden an already overworked student council with such petty matters, and will do my best to make your lives easier in this matter in the future. At least when Shizune is watching. The last line is delivered with a wink to Misha, who finally loses control of her laughter. Well said, Hichan. Chuckling a little myself, we enter the classroom. Class is uneventful, and after the final bell rings, I find myself alone with Butao again. So it looks like we've all assembled for the second meeting of the science club. Or is it the first? What do you think? Should we count yesterday as a meeting? Well, we did form the club yesterday, didn't we? That seems like club business, so we can't safely call yesterday a meeting. Butao smiles in his usual stilted and awkward way. I wonder if the muscles in his face are just not shaped correctly to let him smile naturally. You really do have a knack for this. I think logical thought processes, that is, I guess so. A scientist speaks with authority, Hisao. The answer here is yes, I do. When the world wants to know how it works, we tell it, even if all we've got is a decent hypothesis. But we must sound certain anyway, because we're the authorities on the subject, right? He chuckles to go along with his awkward smile at his awkward joke. I'm doing my best not to grimace, but I don't think I'm being too successful. That's entirely false, of course. We know a lot, sure, but nobody's an expert on how the world works. If only because nobody can be sure. With no certainty, there are no experts. But we like to pretend sometimes. There's some things we can be certain of, right? Yes, but no. We know gravity's there, for example. To illustrate, Mutaos picks up a pencil and drops it. See, still there. But it's good to check every once in a while. That's why you'll still see researchers mucking about with gravity. We're pretty sure we know how it works, but there's always a chance that something isn't how we think it is. So you check and check and check. That's science in a nutshell, Hisao. The whole time I've listened to feeling rather spellbound. Butao seems to really be passionate about this stuff. I think it's hard to tell sometimes how the world works, how humans work, how the universe works. All these questions to be answered, and depending on what I go into, maybe I could even figure out a way to fix my heart. That said, I don't think that's a real priority for me. Besides, as we start discussing the book he gave me yesterday, I find myself more and more interested in that than my heart condition. Before I even realize it, an hour has gone by. Well, let's call this meeting over for now, okay? We'll have another meeting tomorrow, or the day after. He considers this for a moment. Call it the day after. I've got a lot of grading to do. Okay, see you then. As I exit the classroom, I realize that I don't really have anything to do tonight. Emmy and I didn't make plans, so I guess I'll go to the library, and it beats doing homework in my room anyway. The library always seems cooler than the rest of the building. Probably to keep the books from getting damaged by excess heat and humidity. Books are sturdy objects, but if you want to keep them in good condition, it takes a little effort. I've got several books that are so well worn, the pages are barely clinging to the spine. It seems impossible for them to still be usable, but if you handle them with care. I make my way to the main desk, where I spot Yuko, busying himself with something or another. She smiles at me as I enter and wave. Hello, Hisao. Good to see you again. What are you looking for this time? Nothing in particular, I guess. I just didn't really feel like going back to my room, is all. Yuko nods. Well, if you're unoccupied, maybe you could help me look for something. Sure, what do you need? Yuko brings a finger to her lips and looks around furtively. She seems to be looking for eavesdroppers. Come closer. I take a few hesitant steps forward while feeling distinctly unnerved. Yuko lowers her voice to a confidential whisper. I'm on the trail of the Yamaku cat burglar. The what? Shh. The walls have ears, Hisao. Or they might. But listen, those missing books, remember them? Yeah. Well, they weren't missing. They were stolen. I'm convinced of it. I remember you saying something of the sort earlier, but how do you know? Yuko leans in closer, if possible, whispers even lower. Because I found one of his hiding places. You did what? Yuko looks triumphant. Found one of his stashes. It was under one of the stairways in the boys' dorm. 3 books I've been looking for all there. I've suspected a thief before, but this proves it. So did you take back the books? Yuko looks as if I've just suggested she walk around naked. Are you nuts? He can't know I'm on to him. He might go to ground and evade capture. So what do you need my help with then? Yuko casts another glance around the library and leans in closer. You've got to spy for me. Spy? Yeah, like when you're in the dorms, you know? Keep an eye out for suspicious activity. What constitutes suspicious anyway? I mean, Kenji's a pretty suspicious dude, but I'll wager he barely goes to class, much less sneaks to the library to pilfer books. It's Kenji. I know it's Kenji. I saw the book. I read the book. Still, what's the harm in saying yes? At the least, it'll get me out of this weird conversation. Yeah, I can do that. No problem. Yuko straightens up and claps excitedly. Great. Now hurry up and talk about something else in case someone comes in. How's the school treating you? Pretty well, actually. I've been running in the mornings with... let's see, Emi Abarazaki, right? Yeah. How do you know? I served you 2 in the tea house, remember? I deduced that if you were going to run with anyone, it would probably be her. She looks pleased with herself. Impressive. Anyway, yes, we've been running in the mornings. And, we kinda started dating. Yuko claps her hands together excitedly. Really? That's great. I'll bet you 2 are great together. I love seeing people find one another like that, you know? Side quest to find all the book stashes. I never thought this game had side quests. The thing is, I know who it is. It's Kenji. It's obviously Kenji. I even thought to myself, when you walked into the Shanghai that one time, I wonder if that kid will wind up with one of those girls. Really? Yuko doesn't seem to notice my somewhat weirded out tone and nods affirmatively. Yep, I could tell that you'd wind up with one of them, you know. I've got an eye for that sort of thing. Of course. Her expression droops slightly. I'm not so good at it myself. Oh, I'm sure that's not true. Oh, it's true. I met this guy once. We get along really great, but it turned out he was younger than me. Yeah, it's Kenji. And that was kind of weird, but not terribly so. What was really weird was that he disappeared one day, and I've not seen him since then. Huh, that does seem kind of odd. Doesn't it? I hope it wasn't something I did. I feel compelled to reassure her. I'm sure it wasn't. I intend to try and calm her down further, but the both of us jump in surprise at the ringing suddenly coming from my pocket. Yuko sighs to steady herself as I pull the phone from my pocket. I feel a little sheepish for indirectly causing the incident. Emmy, what's up? Oh, thank God. I haven't called your phone before, so I didn't know if this number would work or whether you would pick up, and I can't... Whoa. There, Emmy, slow down. What's wrong? There's a pause on the other side of the line, during which I can hear Emmy trying to control her breathing in order to calm down. Something's got her terribly agitated, and it's starting to agitate me. Can you stop by? Like now? Or shortly after now? I really need to talk to you. There's a tone of pleading in the last sentence that I don't think I've ever heard from her. Of course, I'll be right there. Hold steady, okay? In my increasingly agitated state, I apparently started saying things that don't quite make sense. Okay, I'll be there. See you soon. I pressed the button to end the call before slipping the phone back into my pocket. Apologized to Yuko for running off and run off. Perhaps at some point I would have stopped to think about the time or how suspicious it looks for a guy to enter the girls' dorm at this hour. Except right now, I'm just concerned with getting to Emmy and finding out what's wrong and how I can help her. I knock on the door and greeted with a subdued "come in." Something is very wrong as I stare at the scene before me. Emmy's there, yes, but she's in a wheelchair, and her legs are missing. I glance around the room and see them sitting in the corner, looking like they've been thrown there. Emmy responds to my entrance with a lopsided grin that is both pleased to see me and completely, utterly heartbroken. Hi, Hisao. It looks like she's been crying, but if she was, she stopped now. I notice that I'm a little out of breath. I've been taking the stairs two at a time in order to get here. My heart doesn't seem to mind the strain, though. I file this happy fact away for later consideration. Like when I am not staring somewhat dumbstruck at my girlfriend in a wheelchair. Realizing I've still not responded to her greeting, my brain lurches into a gear. Emmy, what happened? Guess I should have listened to you, Hisao. My leg's got a nasty infection. I'm not allowed to run on it for at least a couple of weeks. She gives a bitter laugh that shouldn't be coming from her. I can't even walk on it. I could have used a crutch and kept one of my legs, but I didn't see the point. Why hop when you can't run on one leg? At least this way I can still, I don't know, roll fast or something. Yeah, that's good, right? My awkward attempt to look on the bright side seems appreciated, but not really effective. Emmy shrugs off again. It's just kind of a nuisance. I mean, we can't even eat up on the roof now. No wheelchair access. But that's not a big deal, right? I mean, we can still eat some together. That's the important thing. That lopsided grin again. It hurts to look at it. I suppose so, yeah. But like I said, it's a nuisance. I mean, I haven't really used a wheelchair in, she thinks, for a minute. Maybe 7 years? Something like that anyway. A long time. I'm afraid I'm a bit out of practice. Well, fortunately, it's only temporary, right? Emmy nods. Oh yeah, of course. It's not like I've lost them permanently. But it's a pain in the ass all the same. I nod sympathetically. There's not much else I can do, after all. What am I going to do? Say, I told you so? Although I did tell her to get that leg looked at. But by the time I noticed, it was too late anyway. Do you need help with anything? Or that is, can I help with anything? Emmy shakes her head and there's a bit of her usual grin back. No, I can manage fine by myself. Although, if you want to help me over to my bed, it would save me the trouble of rolling there myself. I blush in spite of myself. Emmy giggles. You're such a prude, Hisao. I'm not a prude. I just wouldn't want to take advantage of a young woman, such as yourself. It's ungentlemanly. I wheel Emmy's chair to her bed and easily scoop her up and deposit her there. She quickly sorts herself out and sits on the side. She's actually a little heavier than she looks. It would be rude of me to observe this aloud, of course. Man, you're kind of heavy. Emmy hits me with a pillow. Ass. Just saying is all. Must be all that running. At the mention of running, Emmy's grin falters slightly. Huh, well, I guess I won't have to worry about that for a bit, huh? Maybe I'll lose some weight. That's what you do to lose weight, right? Cease physical activity. I'm pretty sure that's what the nurse would recommend. Speaking of which, are you going to still be showing up in the mornings? I'd hate to run a... Aw, shit. Amy's sudden interjection, more a disquieted muttering than anything too profane, caused me to look over in shock. She's leaning forward, trying to cover the fact that she's crying by covering her eyes with a hand. Oh. Of course, the subdued sobbing makes it pretty obvious that she's crying. Hey, I'm sorry. Forget I said anything, okay? I place a hand gingerly around her and pull her close. I can think of nothing else to say or do. How do you comfort someone who's just lost their legs again? Emmy wraps me in a hug and stays that way for a while. Sorry. I'm pretty bad at this whole comforting thing, I guess. Don't say that. I'm fine, really. Her voice is slightly muffled by my chest. I pat her head reassuringly. That's the spirit, right? You'll get through this fine, I know it. Besides, I'm here to help you, remember? Emmy lifts her head and stares at me with tear-stained eyes. Can you really? She's gritting lopsidedly, and something sparkles in her gaze. I can't tell if I'm being mocked or not. Of course, I mean, sure, you're a bit heavy, but... My witty comment is cut off by a sudden press of Emmy's lips on mine. I'm caught off guard, and am rewarded by hitting my head on the wall behind her bed. Ow. Emmy pulls back, trying to look concerned rather than like she's about to laugh. Are you okay? Sorry. I rub my head ruefully and grin back at her. Caught me off guard here. Is that going to become a habit? Am I going to be lectured by Shizune and Misha more? At the mention of the duo, Emmy giggles. Honestly, those two. If I didn't know why, I'd be utterly confused as to why she hangs around with so-and-so bossy. Which one are you talking about? You know exactly which one, Hisao. Misha's hardly bossy. So what's the reason then? Huh? The reason why Misha hangs around Shizune? Emmy waves my question off with a smile. No idea. I see. Anyway, you seem to be forgetting the original question, don't you? Oh yeah, I guess I am. You wouldn't mind giving a guy a little warning, would you? Otherwise, I'm liable to wind up with a concussion. I emphasize the point by rubbing at the back of my head. Emmy giggles madly. You could wear a helmet. Some kids here do, you know? Or I could just take a revenge. I grab a pillow beside me and whack Emmy over the head. Emmy topples off the bed and lands on the floor with a thump. Her arms properly reappear on the bed as she manages to pull herself back up. She really has a surprising amount of strength in that little body. Her face is turned downwards, away from mine, making me think I might have accidentally hurt her. Emmy, you okay? You didn't hit your... A hand shoots up and grabs my collar. She pulls me in with a sharp tug, her face now barely an inch away from mine as she grins cheekily. Emmy? Uh-oh. She gives me a sharp headbutt, our foreheads making quite a loud thud. I sit back and rub my now sore head as Emmy smirks victoriously. How's that for revenge? No fair. You can't take revenge for revenge. For someone missing most of her legs, Emmy's surprisingly agile. I swipe at her, but she deftly rolls out of the way and lands a bit with her pillow. Of course the odds are against her. I can stand up for starters. Oof. Uh-oh. My heart. No. Wait, what is this? Why is there a chinchilla here? Oh, is there a scene that's happening? Oh, is that to imply something happened? Probably. I see, I see. The sunlight breaks through my window shortly before my alarm ruins the morning. Actually, I probably should stop right here. Oh, I kind of want to know what happens next because I have a feeling that implied something happened. That was a weird way to imply it, though. But we'll see. We'll see. That was fun, though. That was pretty good. These stories really picking up. And so is their relationship. It's quite nice. Quite nice. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. I certainly enjoyed this game. I was even thinking while I was planning it that maybe I should do another run for trying to get other relationships done because I don't know if I'm almost done with this one or not. I wonder if it's a 3-act kind of thing, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes because there is the other girl I want to try to do her playthrough. Just to see how that goes. But that was pretty good. It was pretty good so far. Well, I shall see you all next time. I hope you all have a good, wonderful day. Okay, well, I'm enjoying your reading. Thanks for playing it. You seem to have fun with it. I do like this game. I was kind of really surprised at how much I actually like this. This is really good. I kind of want to do another run with the burn girl. I wonder if I should just do the whole game over again, or I should just skip to that point in the story, to where what was it? What point of the story was it? It was the one where I chose to race. I think if I would have chose the other option, it would have led me to a different person, or at least a different pathway. So we'll see. We'll see. But until then, I shall see you all next time. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.